Good appropriate time of the day to you, friends and enemies. I am Richard, and this whole thing is LMTDTMFFR, or, say it with me now, limited time offer, no vowels. How are you doing on this? Stupid microphone cutting out after 10 minutes of silence. How are you doing on this day today? Much later than usual. Had some internet weirdness here, so it took a while to sort that out and work out. It's not a problem with me or my computer, it's an actual problem with the internet, which I seem to have sorted out, so huzzahs for that. I hope you're doing well. I am doing well now, but how well are we doing on the eye on Citizen Sleeper? Do you know? Do I remember? Who knows? Let us switch back on over and have all of that fun stuff going on there. Now, here we are. Click to start. We're not doing Purge, we're doing Refuge, I believe this one is. Episode 2. 56 days. Let's go on. See what exciting things we have. Well, exciting. See what things we have to do. I think we've got to wait 2 days before the new thing comes out, because I could have prepped that, I suppose, but, you know, I want to show you all of the exciting things that are going on. So, yeah. 188 credits. Maybe we'll spend some time. I got 3 scrap components. I mean, this is what we're waiting for all the way on the other side. Now, all the way up the top here. Yeah. 3 days, not 2 days. I mean, we could always go up the spire. Or, I mean, there's no reason not to advance some of the other stories, since we're waiting here. Upgrades are available, but I need 3 points, or I could buy that. I don't care about that one. Oh no, I've got 3 points now. Oh, I can buy something. Well, let's be better with our body. Let's be an engineer. Now, chance to get random scrap items, and I can do it with a 4 or less now. I think I probably said, hey, let's not do it until afterwards, so we know what's going on there, until we get to the new thing. But, you know, let's do that. Let's ascend the hub. Sycamore seeds, that was where we were doing things up here. Look at that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of 12. Saving the crop doesn't need to be done. We can just engineer ourselves over here. We'll do that with some safe, 100% positive chance. So this will add 6 of them. Oh no, the fragile biome. So we'll leave those, and then we've got 2 5s, which we'll use to descend. I don't need to get any scrap, I don't need to get any energy. But let's advance this one and collect some tithes and get some scrap components. Because with a 5 and a +1, that becomes a +6. Or a 6, rather. So it's 100% positive. We can do it again. No, we got enough money and we can put together a ship mine fragment if we need to. Which will sell for a lot. Look at all those scrap that we've got going on there. Let's just double check. You're not here, are you? Nope, we're waiting for you to arrive. So let's just get asleep. And then do the same again, as we've got so many. I haven't made this into a good place yet either. Alright, well let's go to sleep in, back in our original empty container. You haven't got anything going on, you just want me to sell you data, don't you? Yep, I don't want to sell you ship mine fragments, so I can sell a whole ship mine elsewhere. Well, we're way off completing that, but we get money for it, so maybe. It's time now to just go to sleep. No need to get any energy, no need to fix ourselves up yet. Just sleep. Oh, this is a day when we'll be re-rolling a lot of dice, isn't it? Alright, well, actually, before we do anything, let's fix ourselves up one, so that I don't forget that by mistake and lose a die. And Rabbia's office. Let's get it earn another scrap component. We'll use the 5 for that. Might earn some energy as well, if we're lucky. No. Oh no, no, it is engage actions when you do that. Could patrol, add it, and get some energy. Well, let's use the 4 at the top, first of all, and then we'll re-roll and see what we get. Also, maybe we'll need ones to do that. Maybe we'll have to go into cyberspace. I mean, this isn't anything to do with the other one, so I could have just ended the day repeatedly. Saving the crop. We're going to over-save the crop. We're going to save so many crops, they're going to have crops coming out of their ears. And I got a random scrap item. Yay! Now we can leave. Contacted by Bliss. Yeah, Bliss. You and Bliss are floating in the base airlocks, waiting for its cycle. Pick up a few leaves from your clothes. As you wait, they float around the chamber, as if carried by a lazy wind. Clean work. Bliss bows a little. Oh, thank you, Sleeper. Didn't do so bad yourself. She checks her tool belt. Seems like we're getting into a good rhythm. Now familiar sequence of clunks and rattles sound out. Oh, the now familiar things of clunks and rattles sound out. Then the door hisses open. The moment it does, you know something has once again gone wrong. What's all this? Bliss asks a confused looking Moritz. Behind him are a set of crates anchored to the bay floor. He's clearly just brought them in through the bay's freight lock. Moritz looks nervously between the two of you before answering. It's payment? Runs a hand across the crate. The second sea crew just brought them over. He stops, but seeing the look on Bliss's face, he adds, "They were very thankful." "I bet they were," she clenches her fist. "What the hell is inside?" He leans over and struggles with the catches on each side of the top crate. As he does, Bliss turns to say it. "Don't say it." He stares in his face. "Don't you dare say it." Say what?" "You know," he looks back at you. "This isn't my fault." Max finally gets the catches free and the lid floats off, rushing up into the bay. She does. A small brown lump floats up with it. Prince reaches out and catches it as it passes him. Is it a seed? No, mushroom. A damn mushroom. They paid us in mushrooms. Not just mushrooms. Now have a clump of tightly packed leaves. Produce. Starts laughing. God damn, hyper commune. I'd have known they didn't have a chit to rub between them. Hey, you don't knock them. I sleep there very often, and I do work for them when I've got a 1 left. They didn't have a chit to rub between them. She knocks a small brown mushroom across the bay. Stop, Bliss. Rex grabs her hands. These are good, fresh. We can sell them. To whom, Retz? Are we running a grocer's now? We need cryo, otherwise this whole bay will be shut down. We can't pay for parts with leafy greens. I mean, yes you can. People will... Food is the one thing that everybody always needs. Food, shelter. She waggles in Maritz's face. I mean, I can use them to make stuff at the bar. But Maritza is right. Miss Rhodes is like, fine, maybe Maritza is right. But what do we do between now and market day? She rubs her forehead. What a joke this place is turning out to be. Let's closes up the crates. Starts moving them. It isn't that bad, Bliss. It's a step in the right direction. Glances at you, looking for backup. Yeah, they're still well. Besides, look. I went into business with a couple of wannabe farmers. She laughs. Prove me wrong then. Show me this is a windfall. She kicks away towards the new patched together terminal. Until then, I'll be working on how to keep this place open. No, you won't. You're rubbish at that. Ritz mouths out. Thank you. Goes back to moving the crates. You'd better be on your way too. There we go. And this is another, what, wait 2 days? Wait 4 days. Third time lucky. This is taking another shot at landing a contract. With the run you've had, this seems to be our last chance. Well, alright, I don't need anything. And I don't believe there's anything here for me to look at. Nope, nobody's to steal data from. I'm just going to re-roll. I'm not going to use the ones for anything. Ah, 1, a 5, and a 6. Well, I can still use the 1. I can steal from a Yadigan agent. Oh, or I could use it to get energy at the commune. No, I will do this. Because this will get me 2 pieces of Yadigan data. Because I have the double perk. There we go. Oh! Wait. Yadigan data and another... Oh, that was the bonus. Yes. Alright. Let's go to Reva's office. Oh, I can do this. I will gain 3 energy by doing this action. That's great. Excellent. And now I've got a 6, which I'll use to collect tithes and get some scrap. And then I've almost done this one as well. And I got some energy from Thrill Seeker. Wow, it's all coming up Millhouse. Right, still got another day to wait over here, haven't I? Yep, only day 1 of 3. Episode Flux complete. Refuge when the cycle clock is filled. Alright, so I have to wait 2 days. There's nothing. This is a home. Oh! I got Griot mushrooms for doing that. Lovely. Alright, well, let's end the cycle. Oh. Alright, well, first things first. Let's jam some lovely, lovely scrap into our arm, eh? First thing we do in the morning. Wake up, grab a piece of metal and stick it straight into our arm. Now let's cross the rim, and we'll do the last of our things in Ripper's office. Got 6 bits of scrap. Let's put a 4 into a 5, and we'll never know what we have to face on patrol. Let's do that. 50-50 outcome. Yeah, +3 energy. Yeah, but dentist running a surgery from their unit with their equipment. Offer you a restorative infusion and you feel better immediately. Lovely, lovely energy. Alright, and now we filled in Yadigan Insider, which, you know, I wasn't actually intending to do. But hey, this time you meet inside Rebia's office. Although, now you've seen it, office seems like the wrong term. You find her stood in an almost bare, shadowy unit, midway through a sequence of stretchers. There are 2 low stools and a terminal in the corner, and it seems that most of the space is taken up by a heavy punching bag, rubber matting, and a stack of weights. As Revia turns to greet you, you realise she is missing an arm. The prosthetic she usually wears is set in a cradle near the terminal, a web of coloured wires running to it. I have to confess, never noticed it. Thought the thing that was on the outside there was a style choice. Updates, she says, noticing you looking where her official arm usually, her artificial arm, Nothing to worry yourself about. Meh, of course. Sit. I mean, I've got 2 artificial arms. I guess they're official arms as well, being a sleeper. Anyway, sit, says Rabia. Gesturing to the two diminutive stools, you both settle on the stools. Rabia crosses her legs on top and sitting straight backed. See, I told me you've been doing the rounds, collecting tyres, patrolling the wards. She smiles. Some of the enforcers are impressed. And I hear you handled a few difficult customers. Nicely done. Yeah, I wanted to see for myself what was going on. See what for yourself? If the stories are true. I see. Maria flexes her neck side to side, and a conclusion? Still deciding. Ah, sleeper, says Rabia teasingly. Please keep us updated on any progress. She smiles, a thin smile. Joking aside, for you, life on the eye has been a struggle. I hope we can do something about that from here onwards. Though some of our members might not see it this way, I know you too are a refugee. She looks at you solemnly. This is why you have come to us. I mean, no it isn't. Sabine! Enough, Rabia! Sabine's voice cuts the conversation. I'm tired of listening to your affected nobility. Across the room, Rabia's baton in the hand. The end lit with sparkling electricity. Rabia looks between the two of you. So is this ambush was another cooperation between the two of you? She looks strangely faced. Eh? No, they're acting alone. I got nothing. Right now. Sabine pauses, thrown off for a moment by your renunciation. Rabia takes the opportunity to act. She leaps from the stool, fainting towards Sabine, grabs the baton and twists it inwards. She is by far the stronger, so she pushes Sabine to her knees, plunging the crackling end of the baton towards her. Yes, it frees her. Sabine struggling to keep the crackling baton from her skin. Stop! When you support them, I want to know what's going on. Rabia asks you, her eyes not leaving Sabine. Your loyalties are so easily swayed. I thought you were more than Yannick's attack dog, Rabia. Sabine spits out. Are you not able to think for yourself? Rabia holds the baton strong. For a moment, thinks she is about to hammer it down into Sabine's chest. But after a painful wait, she throws Sabine down instead, and spins the baton in her hand, flamming a switch and shutting it off in a single. Rabia, explain. Now what? Now what? I always look at you, each still catching their breath, as if they've forgotten about your presence. Rabia cracks her neck. You're lucky I didn't kill you. I would have. I have every right. Every right! She shouts, the anger of a release of tension, more than a threat. Sabine lifts themselves a little. Bruised from the fall, they roll onto their side and cough. Rabia gives them some space. Sitting back on the stool, Sabine props themselves up on their elbows and fixes Rabia with a hard stare. You have something to say? Rabia taunts. Say it! This is your final opportunity, because after this... no coming back. Yeah, what's the point? Sabine breathes heavily. You used to listen to criticism of the great Yatican project. Rabia collects herself. Speak! She folds her arms. Oh, she's attached her other arm, has she? And waits to be convinced. Sabine takes a breath, organising their thoughts. The other start, pause, then decide on another approach. Eventually they say, Yannick is a traitor. Rabia immediately flinches, her eyes going to her prosthetic arm, her muscles clenching. She rides it out, more eager to prove Sabine wrong than she is to hurt them. At least, for now. When I came here from S&ARP, I glance at you, gauging your reaction. It was Yannick who was the one first to support me, look after me. I should have known then, but I was naive and afraid. Sabine turns to you. Sleeper! I take a breath. I know I should have told you I worked for S&R long ago, but I thought you would abandon me. You are my final friend. I knew you worked for S&R. Somebody else told me. Probably Rabia here. What you should know is that I left S&R because I was running for my life. I leaked documents on the sleeper program, on the illegal and immoral practices it relied on, to the press. S&R wanted me dead, and I fled as far as I could to this refuge at the end of the surrogate systems. Sabine stops to collect themselves. What does that have to do with Yannick? Rabia interrupts. Sleeper knows you were S&R. I told them. While you hide beneath the cover of being a whistleblower, you and I both know you worked on the sleeper program. Yannick told me as much. Well, yeah. That's how she got the documents. Sabine facials. It is true. Glance at you and then, why ashamed? I'm I don't judge you for this. You worked on the sleeper program. You did it, I don't know why. Perhaps you thought it was good. Perhaps you thought something else, but whatever it was, you stopped eventually and went against it. I left the head, but it is Yannick, not me, who is in the pocket of SNR. Rapier flinches. I can prove it. I made some kind of deal to keep me here, tie me up in debt, to lock me away. In exchange... Rapier slams a hand on the desk. Just tell us, for God's sake! In exchange for those. Lavinia finishes, nodding towards Rapier's prosthetic arm in his cradle. He's been using Yatagan enforcers, using you as test subjects for SNR technology. I have the data to prove it. He's been bringing them in under the guise of stolen shipments, having me fit them, knowing each one is capturing data and sending it back to its makers. Rapier's fixed expression has started to fade. Sabine produces a slate. It's all here. Thousands of hours of usage data, failure rates, error dumps. These are untested implants, Rapier. They could short out, fail, cause cascading failures across a person's body. And they have. Sabine suddenly looks incredibly tired. I thought the error rate in the units was down to them being stolen or modified. Tried to fix hundreds of failures in my time here. Not all of them were. They stop. Unable to continue. Rapier closes her eyes and breathes in. Then she opens them up again. She holds her hand to Sabine. Show me, she says. Later. Much later. When you leave, Sabine is still taking Rapier through the manifests and usage data. Both of them crowded around the terminal. Sabine leads Rapier through each layer of Yannick's betrayal. As you leave, Sabine catches your eyes and something passes between you. Something like a thank you, or a sorry, or some other expression that communicates both sadness and hope. And I got an upgrade point. Drive complete. Well, I can build a home. I can help Bliss complete. Which, I've got to wait. And win a side rail ticket. So, I mean, there are so few activities, and at the moment I'm just waiting. And that one is another wait. More timers. 3. Rapier and Sabine have been holed up in our office for a while now. What are they planning? I don't know, but I need to make scrap. As much scrap and stuff as I can. You know what, let's go and double check and see. You want Yatkan data, yeah? Data. I've got Havenage data that I cannot sell. How much do you get from me? 10. Which means I get 20 for every action. Oh. I can do better with, there we go, predictive reasoning, bar shifts, or the cryo. Only thing I can kill Matsuki. What exchange? This is how play the exchange. Yeah, I can get better for playing the exchange with intuits. All right, well. Let's yeah, okay, let's use a 6 here. And then we'll re-roll. 19 cryo earned, lovely. Okay, and then 221s. Because I got rubbish out of my re-roll, I will go back into the eye, and I will steal data from people. Bypass. Oh, that's Havenage data. Damn it. That is not what I wanted. I wanted Yattigan. Oh well, I got some Havenage data that I can possibly sell somewhere if only I'd paid attention, eh? No, that's a Havenage agent again. Havenage. Yattigan. There we go. Bypass. Extract data. Another 2. Yattigan. go. Somebody's got to want a Havenage data. Do you want a load of Yadigan data? I'd like to sell all of it to you, so just bear with me while I sort through my supplies and find out what I've got here. I mean, it's possible that I'll want Yadigan data for the Yadigan thing, for the Rabia thing, but I'm not doing that, so we'll just have a load of data there. Do you buy Havenage data? Nope, you buy nothing. 3. Oh, you're here. Alright. Let's buy that. Either I'll get another piece of scrap, or a hive mind. You know what? Let's just use it all up here while we can. Another bit of scrap. And hopefully a hive mind this time. Nope, scrap. Alright, well, doesn't matter. Why am I getting scrap when I want scrap? When I want hive minds, and why do I get hive minds when I want scrap? Buy a stabilizer, I don't need any stabilizer. This is where I can build a hive mind. This is where I can sell components, play the exchange. Emphasis is still. There we go, here's Havenage data. Ah, this is where I should have come for 24. This is the better place to earn money. And it's still only 10. But, you know, 20 for a single die is not bad, and a very low value die at 1. So it's not useful for actions, or not useful for potential actions. Alright, we've had a lot of fun here. I still can't do anything here. That's my home that I haven't fixed up yet. Well, let's go to sleep in our crates again, seeing as we're here. Oh, don't worry about me. I'm just getting some shy. Oh, 55644. Not bad. Well, let's put some scrap in and self-repair to begin with. Keep us up. Let's put 2 in actually. Keep us up. There we go. Oh! Oh! It hits you like a wave. White edge. The white-edged breaker roaring inland with the force of the entire ocean. The impact is screaming brightness, blanking out everything. Behind it is silence. You float in silence, suspended. No, you do not float. You are the silence. It has filled you up. It has emptied you out. You cease to exist. Time passes, though you do not feel it passing. And something flickers in the distance. Then something moves. And something is you. You open your eyes to a metal ceiling of flickering lights. You feel the floor around you, patting it with your shaking hands. You assemble an image of yourself lying on your back in a corridor. Shake off the silence and sit up. What was that? You glance around, looking for some sign of change. Damage on the wall, shouts in the distance, fear and fire. Nothing has changed. Silence sits around you like a fog. Try to think, furrowing your brow. How do you think again? It doesn't seem so easy anymore. You force the pathways to light up, the databanks to grant access. Feel like a fraction drive starting up after a long shutdown in cold vacuum. In the wave, let's think about the real, the here, the now, where we are. And the wave was noise, just as the sound produced by a wave breaking across a pebble beach represents trillions of impacts heard as a single roar. So this sound was the result of trillions of electrons flickering in place, heard as a single impossible scream. Memory image comes to you. One from moments before the wave hit you? You squint as you imagine it, trying to cohere its blurry form. A broken skeletal ring, the eye, and then a fast arc approaching it. razor-edged white curve. The wave. The wave approaches the eye. The eye spins, turning each part to face that vast white edge. You recognize the skeletal data cloud fragments. Forms. The bright market, the low end, the greenway, the wastes. Then, the wave just hits as the flotilla, the cordon, turns to face it. And after that, everything is silence. You open your eyes again. That is the epicenter. But of what? Dun dun dun! Well, something happened. Hey. It wasn't something nice. So let's get out there and find out. Did I get a new drive? No, I didn't get a new drive. Which surprises me. Hey there, Peak. Even before you reach the cordon, the damage is obvious. The blinking red lights, the drones, the tugs, all gone. Half the cordon's frame has been shorn away, perhaps through the impact of some failing ship. People push past you in the corridor, both Havenage staff and contractors, clearing the cordon. Push forwards. You push through the flow of people, and despite a few suspicious looks, they offer no resistance. The further you pass into the cordon, the less people you see. You can see a few sections have been closed off, the bulkhead door sealed, and red warning lights puncturing the corridors. But otherwise, most areas seem functional. Suddenly you feel a hand on your shoulder. Havenage security? You'd have known better than to wander into this place. You brace yourself as you turn. It's going to be Ishii. No, it's not Speak. Sleeper! Speak embraces you as you turn. What are you doing here? Did you see the cordon go down? Did Ishii speak with you? He glances around. You can see they are panicking. Havenage are leaving. I know. He runs a hand through their hair. Past plenty of their members on the way down here. Not if Ishii came anywhere, it would be here. Glance around anxiously. I was away from the ship, and when I got back, she had taken it and gone. Then I saw the damage to the cordon. He looked at you with wild eyes. What if this is some kind of Havenage attempt to clear the flotilla to scuttle the refugee ships? Yeah, it isn't. Something else is going on. A white wave was coming towards us. What do you know, Sleeper? Something hit the station. I can't describe it. My senses are both more and less than human. Pig looks incredulous. Hit? Sleeper, we'd all be dead if that was the case. They pause to think, maybe not an object, but a shockwave? A signal? An EMP would have taken out most of the station, but... He runs another hand through their hair. Probably the same hand and the same hair. I don't know what you're saying, Sleeper. That doesn't sound... They look away down the corridor for a moment. Look, I have to find Ishii. I'm sure you felt something, but we can talk about that later. I set off down the corridor. Can't sit around talking any longer. Find me on the flotilla. I'm going to find a way to Ishii no matter what. With that, they rush away into the depths of the cordon, leaving you behind. Seems like you'll need to follow if you want to get any answers. Alright. Well, here we are. The cordon. Scrap for passage. Oh, I'm glad I got some scrap then. Find a small shuttle scavenging supplies from the cordon to take you to the flotilla. Take you if you too bring along some scrap. But can't I go out there with you, find the scrap and give you that scrap? You know, because it would take less time for you to do things, because I am helping you. Alright, you want me to give up my scrap instead. Fine. So long as I don't have to pay every time. If I do, that's going to be annoying. I've got flotilla access now. Woo. Can I... Oh, look at this! I can move out! It's not just a hard stop at the end now. How exciting. I mean, this is where I'm going, the flotilla. Alright. So... I can haul supplies, which is an endure action. Getting the necessary supplies to each ship to meet their needs is a huge task. Joining the hauling teams is the simplest thing you can do to help. Or, I can do damage control with the interface action. Wave hit systems more than anything, especially those on the ship. So there's 1,000 tiny repair jobs to be done. And this is a 8 o'clock. So I only need 4 dice. I've got more than enough dice here to complete it immediately. So, we use the 4 here, which will get me 2. And it's possible I'll find scrap while doing this interface action. Nope. Oh no, I won't find scrap with the interface. Is it endure? No, endure will get me energy, right? Your aviator tank has proximity controls, keeping it from drifting into other ships. The occupants are impressed and won't stop thanking you. Oh, transferring cryo on interface actions. Cryo. The money. Alright. And it's... No, okay, it's engage, which allows me to get energy. Well, so long as I remember those things. Oh! Hello, Peak! As you walk into the bay of the climbing briar, the familiarity of the space overcomes any trepidation. It's good to be back, and the return feels earned, especially after all the work it took to figure out a route through the flotilla's jumble of ships that might lead you to this blue streak. It's because we did some work on there and became friends. As you see Ishii and Peak, immediately, sitting at the back of the bay, deep in conversation. Their closeness causes you to stop, suddenly aware that you might be interrupting something private. Peak is gesturing wildly as Ishii stares out into the middle distance, hunched over. Peak tries to get her attention. She spots you. Sleeper! Ishii nods. Incredible work back there, she smiles. Sorry I couldn't wait for you and Peak, but the moment I saw the cordon go down, I had to get here. Peak shakes her head, leaping before looking, as usual. Peak smiles. I'm glad we are all reunited. To be honest, Peak adds, I can't believe it. The flux event knocked the entire quarter system offline. The flotilla is free and Havenage are backing off. Peak smiles at you. You must be our good luck charm. I mean... That is... I mean, it knocked out the... Wow, that is... So it was a thing that only knocked out the cordon. I don't understand what the cordon was other than an invisible line and possibly a set of sensors that can detect when people are coming in and out. I mean, you could easily put up more sensors. The fact that it affected every sensor, which I assume there are multiple different kinds of sensors, is intriguing. I suppose maybe if they're all based on the same tech. Like if they're all electronics, then that would, yeah, they've got to be something like that. Anyway, tell me about the flux event. Was it a reasonably bad... Was it an event where the Doctor was involved? I don't know that it was bad, I don't know that it was good, I think it was just there. That's what the refugees are calling it, Mick explains. Apparently that's what they called it when it started happening around Ember. So, what exactly is happening? I don't care about the flotilla, I need to know what's going on so that we can work out, and then we can do the flotilla. Hard to say, it's some kind of disruptive wave that only affects electrical systems? Oh, that got me, no wonder. Okay, Peak chips in. Typically, systems are screened against radiation and interference, but this seems to be dull, but not stopped by those defences. Basically, the crisis continues. The cordon may be down, but this brings a whole other set of problems. Ishii paces away. You should tell them, Ishii. He glances at her. Please. Ishii doesn't respond. Tell you what. You stare at her back, waiting for a response. I mean, if it's a wave that is expanding outwards, then you should be able to find the originating point. Please, Ishii. Haven't they shown that they can be trusted? Peak nods towards you. She turns, arms folded tightly across her chest. She goes to start and then stops. You can see the anger in her eyes, and you realise it's not directed at you or at anyone else. She is angry with herself. I brought weapons to the flotilla, she pauses, and now they are gone. Jeez. Why would you do that? What? I desperately want to turn you in. When you say they're gone, do you mean they have been stolen, or that they no longer function and have been dissolved down by this wave? What? You suddenly remember the sleek crates you tucked into the bay marked with a yellow sigil. Ones Ishii told you were just supplies. What the hell were you thinking? I was thinking that if the cordon wasn't going to be lifted, the refugees would need something to change that. It's done, it's done. But you are a horrible, horrible person. She stares at you defiantly. Would you rather they just stayed quiet and died like good citizens? I would have preferred that you continued doing the runs backwards and forwards, supplying them with the food and stuff that they needed. Every gun that you bought was a mouth you did not feed. Vic looks at you. She knows this was a bad move, Sleeper, I promise you. Glance back at her. She's just too proud to admit it. Yeah, where'd you get them from? No, so what now? I don't care where you got them from. That's a problem for later. Yeah, and it's not even my problem. Vic, look at Ishi. She finds them, and she gets them back. Staying out of this one. Meanwhile, Pecans, you and I have work to do. I want to understand the flux, Sleeper, to study it. Pig's eyes light up. The thing is, changing the entire system, causing problems across... Oh, the thing is changing the entire system, causing problems across the inner systems, driving refugees off Ember's moon. Now it's here. But hasn't the wave passed? Can't they go back to Ember and do it again? Or is it continually... Are we talking wave as in not a single push out, but as in many waves? If we don't do something about it, he pauses, it's a problem for all of us. I'm surprised. Why didn't it take down the station? I don't understand. I can see more immediate problems, she sniffs, peeking towards her. I've been looking at the networks. When the flux event hit, it changes things. It shuffled systems, corrupted nodes, and broke open data stores. Data stores I can do. Well, maybe not with these guys, but I can do it. Take out a slate and show you a flickering polygon. Some of these flux nodes have appeared near the epicenters of the event, but I can't get access. You, however, I saw the way you worked with data when we were preparing for the run. I think you can get into these things. I wonder what happens if you fail that particular bit and don't make that plan. I saw the way you worked with data and you might stumble into it accidentally. I want you to find a flux node and bring me anything you can extract. They come and go, but they can mostly be found in barely functioning systems, networks of the wastes. Start there. Perhaps together, we can find something that might point us to what the flux is and where it comes from. How will that help? He runs a hand through their hair. Again, same hand, same hair. I don't know, Sleeper. We can't do anything, but I want to know what this thing is. Maybe we can't? Ishay looks indignant. Don't waste too much time chasing ghosts, Sleeper. There are people on this flotilla that can need any help they can get. But your Sleeper can do both. Vic smiles at you. I'll see you here when you have something. Good hunting. No way go out as she stomps away, making plans of her own. Yeah, get those bloody weapons back. New drive discovered. Drive is... study the flux. Alright, well, let's have a look here and see what we can see. Ooh. No. Flux node. You just gonna keep saying that stuff? It's a lot. Okay, so just a lot of nothing. Oh, 654. Okay, so I can do it. Node flickers in and out. Its position shifting slightly each time. Alright, okay. That's all the stuff that we can do. Haha! You didn't get sneezed on this time. Is that it? Is there only one flux node? Let's have a look around and see if anything else is popping up. I mean, I assume not. Oh dear. Yep, nothing for you this time. Nope, nothing there. Oh, gonna have to. Oh, wait, no, there's Havenage agents. Agents. Can you? There's got to be Yadigan, I guess. Yeah, they're both Yadigans. Oh my goodness. I blame the sun for this. Alright, yep, so there's just one flux node. Well. Back across. Clear the greenway. Across the greenway. Stupid sun making me sneeze all the time. Alright, okay. So what do you need here? One flux data. That's all you need. Alright, well I can get that without a problem at all. You don't appear to have anything other than just the need for one flux data. And here we go. Another 4 here. Well, I mean, I can complete this today. I probably will. So first of all, let's get the flux data. I might as well use a 6 for no reason whatsoever. Unlocked. Extract data. One flux data. Flickering, shifting fragment. Needs to be carefully decoded. Presumably at some point you'll say, hey, I need more. Presumably. Peak asked you to help extract data from nodes in the wastes. One that appeared after the recent flux event. Peak receives the data. Onto their slate and begins decoding it, or immediately, or automatically. Sleeper, come look at this! Peak is poring over the displays of the makeshift decoding suite they have set up in the climbing Briar's cargo bay. On the screen, a clump of data pathways, like an ingrown root ball, started to untangle. This is an existing node corrupted by flux event. It's totally twisted up. Glance at you to check you are listening. But inside, you watch as the unwinding pathways leave behind patterns of negative space, like shadows staying behind despite their caster leaving. It's a whole new dataset. Nick's eyes shine bright in the pale screen. Flux somehow seeds this data deep into the gaps of the nodes, wrapping around them. It's kind of like malware. What's in there? Not sure, he frowns. It isn't being very cooperative. Maybe it's life finding a way. Maybe those are the refugees. Looking for refuge. Just a digital event rather than a physical one. Watch the screen. Patterns of shadows becoming obvious now as each layer of pathway is pulled away. The flux event itself really did a number on the unprotected nodes like this one. Most of the eye systems are screened against radiation and interference, but those exposed nodes? Peak makes a ripping motion. That's exploding, I guess. That's tearing. Rip. Torn apart. Peak points to a thick tangle of cables on the screen. Look here. Looks like it's been tangled purposely, but it's actually that all the points within the node have been randomly rearranged. It's as if the node was a bag of ball bearings and the flux shook them. Or as if it was a node and all other things were rearranged. The pathways tried to account for the rearrangement once the system came back on, hence the tangle. Peak pauses as node continues to unwind. Although, Peak muses, it was less like shaking a bag of ball bearings and more like making them all simultaneously occupy a superposition of every possible position in the bag before locking them back into a new configuration. Smiles sheepishly, but that's just a technicality. Okay, so what is the flux? There is a wave, one with exotic effects. That's all. Vic runs a hand through their hair. Again, same hand, same hair. The question is not so much what flux is, but what is causing it? Where is it coming from? I mean, both of those are valid questions. Where is it? What is it? What is causing it? 3 of them. 4 of the questions. Nick turns away from the screen, meeting your eye. And there's something else here. Have you spoken with the refugees? A little. It lowers our voice instinctively. What they're reporting, massive system failures. Yeah, of course they are. Cascading collapses of life support, of terraforming systems. Total data corruption. Big spoilers. Flux, that shouldn't do that. It can fundamentally rearrange the structure of systems, especially those poorly shielded, but totally collapsing heavy-duty industrial systems, fail-safes and all? That doesn't make sense. Those kind of systems are built for deep space, for solar flares and radiation. The flux might penetrate them, but any reconfiguration should have been repairable. Pete looks back at the screen. The decoding node lies almost fully open. The shadow pattern of negative space that existed within its scrambled interior darkens the screen, like a set of bruises showing the pattern of the objects that made them. I need to look into something. I have an idea what might be causing this wave, triggering the flux, but I need time to research it. Can I help? I'd really love to make use of flex my researching muscles. Meek shakes her head. I'm sorry, Sleeper, but I want to keep this to myself for now. You secretive. If you need something to do, Focella could surely do with the help. When I heard from Eshe, things are tense. Where are they? He glances around the bay. Must be out. I've been focusing on this, so I can't say I've noticed. Though the quiet is nice. They smile. I mean, it took me 2 hours or something. If that. It's not even been a day. Well, I suppose. Let's see. I sleep for 8 hours. I'm off work for like 4 hours? No. I work for 8 hours. Let's say is 12 going to be easier? Well, I'd say each of these represent 2 hours, so I do a 10-hour day. Yeah. Give me some time, Sleeper. He turns back to the console. I'll have some answers soon enough, I hope. Take one last glance at the uncoiling node as you leave. The dark shapes it leaves behind. Somehow troubling. Yeah, you try to shake them from your mind. There are things to be done elsewhere. Oh god. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, but I've got nothing to do with those 6. Well, I suppose maybe it'll open up more if I do more stuff here. Let's just try and earn some money. Interface. 100% positive twice. That's gonna finish off this. Okay, let's just see if it opened up anywhere else. No, it did not. Onwards again. I don't need to get any energy today. I'm fine. Scrap. My condition is stable. I reboot tanker's proximity again. Proximity controls even. Alright, flotilla friend. Lifting ships, systems, and social structures. The only way to navigate the flotilla is by rolling up your sleeves and helping out. Hey, Sol. Pragmatic captain. Someone told me I should be thanking you. Voice comes from behind you, cutting through the chaos of the crowded, cavernous bay. You freeze. Probably not literally. Don't be afraid now, I've been hunting you. But for all the best reasons. Because I want to make money. That's why I hunt the sleepers. No, you're not bounty hunter? Oh, I'm sorry. I turn to see bright eyes set in a rough face, framed in rusted metal. Oh. Pragmatic refugee leader. Sol! He hands out his hand, the other clamped firmly around a wooden cane. She's leading with his left hand then. Unless he's leading with this hand up here. I'll shake your hand all the same. Gripped you firmly with a heavy and callous hand. Forgive me. As soon as I saw you, I knew who you were. Because I'm the only sleeper around? Or because all sleepers look alike to you? Tom puts his hand on his shoulder. I've been told a sleeper was part of the supply run that came in several cycles ago. It's a very welcome act. We will thank you for it. Cool? I guess. Walk with me, sleeper. So sets off. Hang on. No, I didn't get a second piece of data. Thanks to my thing. Just double checking that. Didn't think so. Sol sets off through the bay, his partial suit hissing and creaking as it helps carry him through the busy street and crowds. You notice people making way for you and Sol, standing back, letting you pass. You pass a makeshift kitchen, steaming pots on heating elements, restless queue, collecting meals even, not metals. That algae that came through isn't exactly a full meal, but with what we have here, we've been able to make it work. You see a ladle of greenish stew dished out. The colour is something, isn't it? Sol smiles. Sol leads you out of the hangar bay and into a corridor lined with storage rooms that are now serving as dorms. See someone filling a metal container with, from a standpipe, water gushing out readily. Sol nods the person as he passes. Just a little further now. Sol leads you into a freight elevator, whistles to some unseen operator to start it up. It jerks into life. Well, that means you're running the gravity. Why are you running the gravity and the lift? Why aren't you an anti-gravity? Maybe that creates more problems. I don't know. It jerks into life as you pass through the layers of the ship. And you see people on every level. Supplies crammed into every available space, and sparks leaping and bursts as the ship is reshaped and modified to sustain its population. Patronage were expecting an exodus from the flotilla. The flux event has put a stop to that. Sol stretches. Some have even crossed to the eye. But many just to gather salvage or score a hot meal. Alright, so they're going over there visiting and coming back. So the pressure on supplies is shrinking, but not like I'd hoped. With the flux reaching all the way out here, people are starting to understand that our journey might not be over. Sol stares grimly ahead. Why aren't you going back? Why aren't you building new and exciting nodes? Unless everything you build is also infected by the wave somehow? Then it's not so much a wave as a blanket, as it covers everything, and continues to cover it. It's an ever-expanding blanket. I mean, I can see why they didn't call it that rather than wave, but still, beware the ever-expanding blanket. Suddenly, the freight air screeches to a halt. Sol leads you slowly out to a wide room of chairs and terminals, ringed by a mezzanine, and with a glass roof above showing the distant hub and the far curve of the eye beyond. People at the terminals nod to him as he enters. Yours? Sol nods. That's right. The Pilgrim Seed is mine to care for. He leads you up to a railed platform at the centre of the room and stops. She chose me, so to speak. Well, at least her crew did. And I do my best to serve them. Sol looks around the bridge of the ship. A vain expression on his face. I'll admit that the responsibility isn't one that suits me, though we rarely get to choose such things. He glances back at you. But you, Sleeper, from what I understand, you chose to try and help us here, is that right? I did my best. I'm not going to say I was helping my friends, because oh boy, do I not think they're friends now that Ishi's been supplying guns to people. Or weapons. I mean, explosives, I don't know. Sol nods silently. I have to ask you, Sleeper, why are you here now? Sol looks back. He has his eyes on you, assessing you. I would still be helping if the flux event hadn't happened. But I'm here now because the flux event happened. And I want to know what's going on with that. It took me down in a way that I have not experienced before. I appreciate the honesty. I had figured as much. Sol flexes the shoulder, but is free of the suit. Look at you now. I can see that an event like that, well, it would have had a big impact. He smiles a half smile. I have thousands of people here on the Pilgrim Seed, Sleeper. There's thousands more out in the flotilla. He leans against the railing. A lot of them are looking at me to provide some future for them. Some path out of this dead end we've gotten into. This cycle, this very cycle, that we're running away from, just caught up with us. So these people are scared, Sleeper. And they're looking to me. To me, he said, looking at, a reassurance. Me, right here. That's what I was trying to do. And then, on the same cycle, someone tells me they see you on board a sleeper. The same sleeper, they reckon. Wanted so strongly to send a ship past the Gordon to see us. Saul scratches his beard. So the first thing I wanted to do was thank you for that. For your interest. Second thing I wanted to do was find out what you want from us. Soul suit hisses and grins. I think that's fair, don't you? So, Soul takes a deep breath. What do you want from us? Look, the flux happened on Ember. I am curious to know what is going on with the flux and with Ember, and I don't want to help. I want to help. Excuse me. I want to help, but I also want to understand. You can understand that, right? You know what I'm coming from. I want to do both. Start by telling me what's happening around Ember. Someone at a terminal calls out to Sol, and he shouts back some orders. Turns to you. Apologies. Smiles that half smile. I'll tell you what, Sleeper. Let's you and me make a deal. You want information? I understand that, but I have a list of needs longer than the rim of the eye itself. He grimaces. So, you do some things for me, then we can talk about what's happening in the system. I will answer all the questions, and then some. Maybe the captain of the Pilgrim Seed. She's certainly the biggest ship on the flotilla, but I'm not the only captain here. I have ships here from each of the moons, from Ember's Hearth. There's others from Ember's Song and Ember's Steppe. Moons have been at each other's throats, Sleeper. What with the pressure of the flux, the bad blood from the old days? Sol leans in. We aren't exactly all in alignment. What I need is a way to stop things escalating. For the crews on these ships and their captains to feel happy and comfortable. For the crews on these ships and their captains to feel happy and comfortable enough to forget old rivalries and past crimes. Flinches at something. As for Ember Steppe, well, they've always been proud. But that pride seemed to be a barrier to compromise right now. The last set of supplies I sent their way, they refused. Wow. Meanwhile, I have a supply shuttle at the docking axis of the Ember Song ships gathered at. But they have taken far too many cycles to unload. Maybe if you're heading that way, you could look in on them? I'm no politician, Sleeper, but if I don't... Still stops. He leans back and flexes. Suit screeching. He groans a little, and you see the weight of the flotilla sitting on his shoulders. The suit, the only thing keeping him vertical beneath all of that pressure. Look, you'll see for yourself if you go up. Meet the others. Sleeper, see what they need. Keep them aligned. He speaks through the pain. His voice clips. Are you doing okay? Do you need anything at the time? Not really. As long as this thing holds. He grimaces. I hope. So grits his teeth. I hope you are what you appear to be, Sleeper. Smiles his half smile, despite the pain. Because I'm not sure I can take any more bad news. Plus, there's plenty to be done here on the Pilgrim Seed too. You have a moment to pitch in. There's never enough around here. Something I've learned the hard way. Sol settles onto his cane, pain visibly receding. Alright, I have 1,000 things to attend to now, Sleeper. You'll have to find your own way out. With that, Sol sits at his terminal. Slow, careful movements. You head back down towards the great elevator. As you do, you see the layers and layers of chaotic life this vessel, and all the vessels in this flotilla, hold. Alright. New drive discovered. New drive says... Flotilla support. Alright, so... On the Pilgrim Seed... Oh! I don't have any Mitsuki caps. This is a repeatable action. Food is an issue on the Pilgrim Seed. Even with the agriculture aboard, a supply of Matsuki will help fill the gap. Food is an issue on the Pilgrim scene, even with the agricultural. The supply of Matsuki will help fill the gap. Well, I don't have any of that. That's 3. Oh, but I need... Right, if I fill in those 3, then presumably it will fill in something on here. Oh, and that is really filled in because of Ishii doing her stuff. Half survival. Well, Ishii got her supplies through the cordon or not? Pilgrim Seed and the Heath and Hearth refugees on it desperately need help. Okay, and I can do Pilgrim Seed support here. Even Souls on ship requires help, but figuring out what jobs need doing first and who to help is a challenge. And that could be... No, I don't know. Soul Step and Earth. Maybe I need to fill in all of that to get one of these? I don't know. Oh no, wait. I'm an idiot. These are the 3 different moons, aren't they? So once I filled in this, one of these will fill in, and then the other 2 will fill in elsewhere. There we go. Ember Step. Ember Song. Let's go to the song first of all. Ooh. That's a negative. Salt shipment of supplies sits partially unloaded. The crew absent. If you want to help, the best way would be to finish the job. The more you offload supplies into the docking bay, the more attention your effort seems to be gaining. Okay. So that's only 3. That's an endure action. And over here... more talking. It's a strange sight. Oh, this is the flotilla ship. A ship in the flotilla, in the refugee flotilla. It's a strange sight, giving no time spent in the greenway to see a greenhouse choked in red dust. It pulls up along the edges, gathers in curving waves, and is carried by some unseen wind to the whirl in front of the glass ceiling. It is a desert in miniature, capturing a landscape of iron-rich sediment and unseen life. Beautiful, isn't it? The remark comes from another figure standing at the viewing window, so quietly that you hadn't noticed them. Did they just arrive, or were they here before you? That cloth-swaddled form reveals a little. It is. It's interesting. The promise of new life. The ever-swirling. I mean, there can't be wind in there. They say nothing. You catch a glimpse of a pale face among the thick material, dark eyes glittering on the reflected light. They turn to you as the dust swirls. Aki, they say. They smile a tight smile. Oh, not from the flotilla, am I right? Guarded Ember Step refugee. I live on the Eye. I've made it my home now. That's not where you are from. He stares into the greenhouse. Everyone is from somewhere, whether they wish to be or not. No, that is where I'm from. That is my home. That is where I've set up base. That is where I am from. Anything that came before that... not me. You'll love the music. Yes, to finish the DLC, it made you a little sad. Well, I'm only into the second bit of the DLC, and I don't know what is going on. And yeah, the music... certainly the title music on the main menu. I like that. That's a nice lilting tune. The rest of it, I mean, yes, it's good, but it's the main menu music that really hits home for me. That's not where you're from. She stares into the greenhouse. Everyone is from somewhere, whether they wish to be or not. Red dust glitters in her eyes. Whether it's a good place to be from or not. He gathers her cloak around her shoulders. Against the cold, what brings you to the wind's long shadow? I presume that's the name of the ship, but, you know, let's double check. The ship! Key looks at you curiously. Do you often wander around ships that you don't know the name of? When they're all refugees coming from somewhere and your names aren't painted on the side? Yes? You are a strange one. Key raises an eyebrow. I don't know whether to report you or send you back to where you came from, she smiles to herself. Which is nowhere at all. You glance around the empty corridor, suddenly aware of how quiet it is on the ship. Unlike the other ships you have been on the flotilla, there is a silent order to the wind's long shadow. In this moment, it feels unsettling. What happened here? He squints. That is a broad question, and I'm not in the mood to recount the history of this ship. Or step. Step? The moon. So I'll stay silent, now that I have figured out that you mean moon. Ember step. He lets the silence sit. You hear the wind and dust scratching at the viewing window. Now creak as the set of shutters slowly begins to close across the glass ceiling of the greenhouse. As you watch, you feel the dissonance this place has with that world. There is nothing green here, a dust house perhaps. It takes many systems to preserve this landscape, the key begins. Simulate the wind, cycle the dust, layer the sound and dirt beneath. You're just swirling systems that are failing. Well, if you need new systems, you've come to the right place. Just got seized to update. DLC done and game breaking gun stuff got. Got all of the achievements you're likely to get as you're bad at the challenges and still have to do the rest of the story missions. Yep. Well, I have blah blah. I have installed that onto my system, but have not even booted it up once. I have 0 playtime. I presume it will run on here, but you know, maybe one day I will get to it. And as I said before, I only bought it because there was David Tennant's voice in it. Well, that would be a very good reason to buy it. I would have left it alone if it had been somebody else doing it. Hey, we're on the Eye. We don't need to know about David Tennant and his propaganda things. Anyway, the flux event. He glances at you for a sign of recognition at the term. It's eroding our ability to keep this place alive. Keep this place alive. Keep those traces of step alive. She smiles to herself. That's an odd growl. Which is ironic because when we left step, the flux had eroded our ability to survive on the moon. Now the situation is reversed. Away from the moon, its ecosystems are as fragile as we were, living upon it. Something catches your eye as the shutters darken the dust house. The winds, picking away at the dunes, begin to reveal something, a web. A network of thick, branching forms. As they close completely, you see nothing in the dark. Soft blue light flicker on the corridor, highlighting a key in courtside. You've piqued my curiosity, but I'm so tired. The key shivers. If you do not have a purpose here on the ship, I recommend finding one. Otherwise, I'm afraid you'll need to leave. Make yourself useful, and perhaps we can get another chance to talk. She turns. I would like that. And with that, the key pads away down the corridor. You stand for a moment in front of the dark dust house, trying to imagine the network of rooms under the sand and dust, and then trying to imagine the moon once housed them. Alright, so what have we got to do here? It's another interface action, which is great. I am great at interfacing. The crew won't let you into their dust house, but there are plenty of supporting systems that could do with some love and care. Make yourself useful. A key warned you that if you wanted to learn more about the wind's long shadow, you'd have to prove your usefulness. Well, right now, I prove my usefulness by going to sleep and ending the cycle. And this is what we need to do on the pilgrimage indeed. Yeah, we've seen that already. Let's go to sleep here so that we're close by. Let's re-roll the dice for no reason, even though there are no dice there. Time to end the cycle. And time for me to get a drink very quickly. One, two, three, five, six. Well, I need to use something to get some energy today. But beyond that, let's go to the docking axis and deal with those first of all, because this probably opens up more. I mean, they all probably open up more, except the Pilgrim Seed. Here we go. When they were doing the DLC, could they not have, you know, updated the boxes so that, I'm clicking, maybe they did update the boxes because that worked. I don't know. Because, you know, just clicking slightly around it usually doesn't work. Right, 100% positive for enduring. There we go. Oh. Wait, this is a negative clock. Do I not want to gain attention? I mean, surely I must want to gain attention here, right? This is... No, which one was prideful? Was it the song or the step? I don't know. Alright, 6 days with you. Let's put some stuff in here as well, and then we'll re-roll all the dice. We can do better than 1, 2, 3. I mean, we can do a lot worse as well. There was 3. 6, 3, 6 is good. I think we'll use the 3 as... Oh, well, I don't need to use it as energy. I can use it for anything. I'm going to fill in this clock. Let's do the 6s here, and then I'll do the 3 in an interface action. Positive outcome, unfinished business, even though it's negative. I mean, I presume... Are you going to kick me off the ship now that I've done it? Someone comes up to help you unload for a while, making the work go quicker. When you ask their name, they ignore you. What's going on? We're in the Ember Songs Flotilla hub in the docking axis, and there is a loose crowd around the supplies you have unloaded, and a tense mood brewing among them. You sit nearby on the edge of the Shadow's docking tunnel, resting. Further away, crews from Ember Song continue their lives as usual, coming and going, trading, discussing. There's quite efficiency to the hub, set up as a common space for the small ships from Ember Song and part of the flotilla. Unlike Hearth or Steppe, there is no one capital ship for this moon's refugees, just a mass of individuals travelling in concert. We told Hearth we didn't want their scraps. The jeering voice comes from a small crowd nearby. Well, you understand that they're not Hearth's scraps, they're scraps from the Eye. Yeah? You turn to see a gaunt pale man wearing the industrial work gear you've seen many of Song's refugees wearing. You hear me? Nah, I don't hear you. Supplies are here to help. He smokes. Oh, how noble of you, coming out here to help us singers. There's a rumble of anger around the crowd. I don't know what you want from me. Agreed to join the flotilla for joint protection. We did not agree to Ember's Earth using the flotilla to secure their control of the moons. You realise that Petra is addressing the cloud. Peter with that R? Peter? Addressing the cloud as much as he is addressing you. Steely Ember Song refugee. I don't care. I'm not from Ember. With Gordon down, our crews are more than able to acquire what is needed from the Eye. What is owed as restitution for keeping us restrained. So you're the guys with the guns. Alright. Or the explosives, or whatever weapons it was we gave you. If that's one of the crates you unloaded, what we need, we will take. I got no stake in this. Why are you delivering supplies for Hearth? Neutralize. You need to check your alliances, Sleeper. I'm not delivering supplies for Hearth. I delivered the supplies to and the surprise to the flotilla. Just making sure they get out to everybody. Petra looks around the crowd. Hearth thinks they can buy us, but we remember the past. Rumble of agreement runs through the crowd. Smiles at them. Take the supplies if you wish, of course. We are not wasteful. Petra approaches you directly. The crowd tentatively moves forward. By the time it reaches you, they're already dragging away crates and distributing the contents. Not one for shooting the messenger, Sleeper, says Petra, as he approaches. We cannot concede to Hearth here, not for a moment. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. I can see that. There it is. beside you on the docking tunnel slip. What was your plan, Sleeper? Unload the supplies and wait for someone to start throwing them back at you? Answered the crowd rifling through the crates. Because that's what was about to happen. Meh. I don't know. I'd just stay silent. Yeah. What do you think happened to the crew of this shuttle? She said. They were chased out of this place. What shuttle? The shuttle that I came in on? Because if they've been chased out of this place, how do I get back? Are you talking about the flotilla? The ship that you're on? I don't understand. Why do they hate Hearth? We do not hate Hearth. We simply do not trust it. You know anything about Amber's Moon, Sleeper? Or are you planning to wander into this flotilla totally blind? Objective outsider offering help. Tell me what you got. I'm always eager to learn. He smiles. It would be my pleasure. I'm going to assume you know the basics. The gas giant Emperor has 7 moons. 3 biggest are Step, Song, and Heart. So why do you keep calling it Hearth? Do you not keep calling it Hearth? Am I misreading? No, there it is. Hearth. Winks. We can cover the 4 sisters next session. Okay. Step was the first to be settled. Contract old Solheim gave to the terraformers. Cybal Systems. Ah, Cybal Systems. Yes, I know them well, honestly. When they first claimed the Hellion system. That's way back when. Step was a testing ground, and like most testing grounds, it didn't turn out too well. Partial atmosphere slowly sloughing off each orbit, dysfunctional ecosystem, and a whole load of dust-clogged cells. The place is a miserable desert long past its best before date. So Cybal moved to Hearth, where they redoubled their efforts. Subsystem ocean and some balmy tidal heating helped, and aimed to build a real atmosphere, a real habitable Earth. In fact, that the typical Hearth colonist won't ever let you forget. How did Cybal achieve such a thing, you might wonder? Well, that's where we come in. Same old rule of surrogacy, the one humanity built our universe around. Richard claps a hand on his chest in mock pride. My moon, Emma Sol, is a sulfur-soaked rock covered in volcanoes, tightly heated by its inner orbit to sweltering temperatures, exactly the kind of crucible we need to fuel a terraforming project. Energy, industry, fuel. Song provides the raw materials for Hearth. Peter grimaces, willingly or not. Pattern. And crucible requires people to run it. Us singers, born into a flaming pit, and us to stoke it so others might live in a paradise in the making. That's what we had to endure, until Solheim brought everything down. And it rattles off this speech from memory. Only you wonder how many times he's had to deliver it. No Solheim, no contract. No contract, no Cybal. And no Cybal meant 3 moons suddenly independent. Vader shakes his head. It was war, Sleeper. Sometimes hot, sometimes cold. And unsurprisingly, Earth and Step came out of it better than us. Yet, and holds up the hand, they need us, Sleeper. Always have. And so we are the linchpin, the centre around which the moons orbit, not swirling Emperor. We've resisted takeovers, sieges, and expansions. And now, we'll resist this. I don't know what you think you're resisting. Okay. Half of the people on these ships think the flux was caused by Hearth. Intentionally or otherwise. I have to say, some cycles I agree. So before you come here to hand out supplies like a good soldier, maybe educate yourself. What the fuck does that matter now? You don't live there. You're not that. Aaron shakes his head. Do you forgive crimes against yourself so easily, Sleeper? Would you return to the bottom of S&R? The bosom, sorry, not the bottom. I mean, there's some similarities, but not exactly. The bosom of S&R if they send someone to collect. Stares at the crowd. Don't presume to judge us. Alright. I want you to imagine what it's like to try and live on an airless volcanic rock when every system that sustains you starts shutting down. Spit some wipes of sleep across his mouth. We abandoned nothing. Some stayed, others left. But we will reclaim Ember as soon as the flux fades or ends. We've weathered the worst. And you don't need supplies? As I said, we'll take what we need when we need it. Wow. You are hardline idiots at times. Pat stares out on the axis. There's no authority that we recognize here. If you live outside of... Oh god, what was that thing that I saw recently? It was very... Damn, I can't remember what it was called. It's the paradox of something, and it's... I'm going to have to find it in order to do any justice, but if you live outside the social contract that we establish here, then you are outside of the social contract, and nothing that you do, nothing that we can do to you is a problem, because you are outside the social contract, and if you are outside of it, then we get to decide how to deal with you. I won't keep you from the docking access, Sleeper. No one here has that authority for that. No one here has the authority for that. But watch yourself here. Try to remember that the Eye is just another in a long list of people who've tried to control us. Just stay shut up. Because anything I say could make it worse, so I'll just stay quiet. Was there meant to be a line there? Because there was nothing, but I guess not. Better signs. Look, we are many. We have many needs. Ships come to this docking access for repairs, for requisitions, for friendship. You can provide these as well as any singer. If you want to help in your own name, Sleeper, not in that of Hearth. Who on earth said that I was helping in the name of Hearth? Hey, at no point. I'm not branded with Hearth written on me. I don't walk around going Hearth for life or anything. You are making horrible assumptions about me. Anna shakes his head. Carry that name here and you will lose all trust. I don't know what you're talking about. Be as we are. Act in your own name alone. Anna puts a hand on his shoulder and stands. I hope I didn't waste my time here, Sleeper. With that, he walks away, back to the shrieking crowd that is distributing the last of the supplies amongst the crews. Watch them pass the food and water between them. No signs of conflict between the crews, just a careful distribution of resources. Better chats with a few crews, each of them casting looks in your direction, ones that reveal little about the singer's intentions. You stand. It seems the tension on the flotilla runs much deeper than you expected. This won't be easy. Alright. So, I can supply support spores. Or ship mines. One of the things crew's looking for a ship mine to replace the flux damage. You can help them acquire one? I have one. Well, I have enough hive mind fragments to make one. So yeah, I can certainly do that. Here's the dust house with its interface. Well, before I do that one, here, yeah, get around there. Right, let's go make a hive mind. Cross the rim again. Why can I make the hive mind? I don't think it's you, is it? Wait, what do I own here? Random items. Oh, stealing a shipment. Yeah, I don't care about stealing the shipments. There we go. Ort fabricator. That's what I need. I'm trying to put the wrong thing in. That's why. Just a minute in. There we go. Unship my core. Yeah, this 12 beautiful credits. Three energy. don't think it's easier to get 3 spores. I can't remember where I get spores from. I have to look. I think it's from the garden. Hopefully this is a repeatable action. You supply the ship mine, but in a way it seems to only make the crew more suspicious of you. Action unavailable. Okay, nope, I need to find some spores. Right, well let's just go and check where I can find these spores, because I think it's here. 2+ grow spores. Yeah, this is where I need it. Okay, well we're not going to do that with the 3. We're going to go to the interface action up here. Because that will turn that into a 5 with a 50-50 chance. Neutral or positive. Make yourself useful +1. So that was only a neutral outcome. Oh well. Now, let's sleep in the Briar base camp. I don't need to do anything here. No need for scrap. Just time for sleep. Well, got a load of actions there. Oh. Oh, Moritz. Yes, Wes's assistant. Sleeper. Moritz is leaning against the corridor wall. It's time. Big job just came in. Grand finale. You up for it? No. I'm ready, I'll tell you, but I'm not going to do anything towards it. Alright then, we are in business. Pushes away from the wall. Test to work, Sleeper has to. Stand. If it doesn't... Are we in trouble? Obey, you mean? He shrugs. We were already in trouble before you got here. Work so far hasn't been enough. Look, Wes has had a rough time of it. I thought you of all people would understand that. Runs a hand through his hair. Everybody's always running hands through hair. I mean, you've barely got any hairs to run your hand through, but okay. Sorry, didn't mean to be. He smiles. This is a good one. She gave a chance. She gave me a chance. I owe her. Straightens up. I know you have your own things going on, Sleeper. We all do, but Bay needs someone. Bliss needs someone. Hell, I need someone to help me keep Bliss from spinning out completely. Scratches the side of his head. Otherwise, there's not much I can do. Shakes his head. And I would hate not to pay back my debt. He stretches. We gotta get back. He nods and walks away. I'm out. See you up there. Nope, you won't. Right, so. Oh, that's where I can synthesize a stabilizer. Now this is where I germinate spores. This one has got to be the one where I get spores then. 2 grow spores, yes. Alright. Let's put a 5 in. 100% positive. There's 2 of them. Let's put in another one, and then we'll get 50-50 odds. Presumably we'll get 1 spore. No, we got positive outcome, 2 spores. So now I am left with extra spores that I don't really care about. Hey there. Would you like some spores? I have spores. One of the ships is trying to establish a mushroom farm to help feed the crews. Looking for spores to get them started. Spores have been added, and well, some may be suspicious of your efforts. Crew by crew, you're convincing. Alright, well I've done both of the things. You gonna talk to me? Cool. As you cross the axis, looking for the shuttle to take you back to the ruined cordon. It's what, Peter? Petra? Standing by the edge of the central hub. Something out of the way is leaning against the rail, looking down at the axis and towards the blinking lights of the flotilla beyond. Makes you pause. He's completely still, his head drooping low and his shoulders hunched high. Let's approach him. Maybe you are a spore. I could be a spore. I mean, maybe I've got spores caught inside my body because I am not entirely. I'm not human. It could be that I've got spores somewhere in the what's the words? In the joints and in the cracks between my rapidly decaying body as a sleeper. Not as Richard. I mean, my body is rapidly decaying as well, but no. I can't get spores caught. I suppose I might be able to get spores caught in me and grow things in me. I'm not going to attempt it though. Lean on the railing a little way from Petra. Petra. Leaving a gap between you. This close you can see the blank stare in his eyes, the way his head hangs limply in front of him. Takes a minute to notice you. Sleeper, he yelled sharply. Still hanging around? Trying to do what I do. The smile's a tight smile. Doesn't turn to face you. As a sleeper thing, need to be useful? No. Yeah. It's a me thing. I am me. That would make sense. He closes his eyes. Tools need to be used. No. Shut up. That sounds back to the railing. We invited you, Sleeper. You said you could come here. You think because the Arthurs decided to name you that errand boy, we have to put up? Nobody named me that errand boy. They told me things needed doing. I decided, sure, why not? I'll help out. We don't want you here. We don't need you. That's been like, go home, you stupid machine. Wow. A second later, after he shouts that final line, he collapses in on himself. Staying upright, with all the energy going out of his body. He slumps back across the railing, his eyes close once more. Are you against me because you think I am a machine? Because you think I will collapse, just like all of the other machines collapse when flux happens? Are you a biological units first person? You wait. After a while he speaks. I'm tired, Sleeper. Tired of everything. Tired of the entry paternalism of Hearth. I'm tired of the paranoid whining of the crews. I'm tired of the endless cycles that look the same, smell the same, feel the same. I feel that. I'm tired of running, of hiding, of fixing every shitty thing that breaks out here. The shout echoes in the hub. A few stop to look. Looks down at his feet. I get that. Peter nods. I'm sorry, Sleeper. So something is... I don't feel okay. Just tired, I think. Really tired. Sans. I'm gonna go. He looks at you as if to get some sleep. Have good sleeps. Peter nods slowly, turning away. He raises a hand and drifts away towards the centre of the hub. He turns back to the railing, not wanting to watch him go. It's even like this. You prefer not to stare. The traffic of the axis rumbles on as you watch under an endless shining sun. The same air is cycled through all of these lungs. Same dust gathering speck by speck on the windows. Take a sharp breath, stand straight, and get moving. Before the inertia of it all gets to you two. Oh. I've still got more to go on here. Crew socializing or access job boards. Alright, I presume that did not fill in a section over here. Nope. Still got more to be done. Alright, well, I've got interfacing actions I can do here, and with 4s, they become 6s. So, system repair. Making myself useful too. You notice a bug on the wind cycling system and managed to fix it. The key gives you a knowing look. Seems like you are proving yourself. I noticed a bug in the wind cycling system again and managed to fix it. Maybe it's the same bug. Maybe I fixed it and then, you know, came back and made it worse again and went, oh yeah, I can fix this one again. I've got a 6. I think there's anything I need to do. So I might do that here. I wonder how much that gets you. This is gonna fill me up to the quarter. Yep. Just 1/4 to go, which is, I presume, 2 positive actions. Alright. You got anything else? No. Time to sleep. This time, however, let's go sleep in the commune. It's not the best place, but, you know, I feel the need to be with people after that last one. So we'll do a little bit of repairing, so we keep our 5 dice. And then, like, complete action scenes. Oh, do I have to go up? Or do I need to go back? Either way, I need to cross to Rim. Oh, it's you, Yanigan. Okay, Rabia. As you enter Rabia's office, you hear voices. Is that Savine? You push open the door. Sleeper! What good timing, Rabia calls out as you enter. I want to introduce you to someone. Vanek standing in the center of the room, speaking quietly with Rabia. He turns as you come in. Meet Yannick. Sleeper? He nods. Been hearing good things from Rabbi. He smiles, an easy smile. Rabia? Rabia cuts in. The Sleeper has been running patrols in the ward. They know how we run things. Yannick raises an eyebrow. His eyes concealed behind tinted glasses. You feel us there, even if you cannot see it. Actually, Rabia places a hand on your shoulder. Sleeper was what I wanted to talk to you about. Doesn't spare you a look. What is going on? Well, okay then. Yannick tucks his hands into his pockets. Go on. I'd like to recommend them to your ward. Tony Wars. They have shown themselves to be a capable ally here on the smoke side. We have more than enough to run our territories. I hear the main block is proving more difficult. And he leans forward slowly. It's a mess, Rabbi. He waits, his tinted glasses shimmering despite the lack of light in the unit. I can use them, he suddenly decides. Rabbi smiles. Good to hear. I can immediately... Yannick cuts her off with a raised hand. 1 second. He steps one surprisingly light step closer to you. You gonna work, Sleeper? Tell me the kind of job? What kind of work? A question. He lifts his head and raises it again. As if he's dropped something. Nothing new for you, he answers, not quite looking at you. You don't follow. What is he saying? Are you trying to imply something about me doing more S&R work? That concludes it. Yannick pronounces. Sleeper can come work in the ward anytime they like. You shoot Rabia a confused look. Rabia finally glances at you for a moment, but it is so fast you always miss it. Good. I know you'll be happy with their work, Yan. Yannick reaches out and squeezes her shoulder. Sure, Rabbi, he says. Now please, he says, turning to face you. Let us old friends get back to it. He guides Rabia away, leaving you standing alone. Well, I presume I'm going there to do spying. Look at Rabia. She is deep in conversation, so stunned and confused, you leave. New drive discovered. Expose Yannick. We've also got help with complete. I presume... Oh, Yannick's ward. Let's have a look at it. Okay, so I can patrol the block here. Gaining Yannick's trust. Ah. The massive block at the centre of the low end is made up of layers and layers of units. Patrolling this vertical city is a challenge. Yannick is a strange character, but he seems to understand the value of hard work. He'll gain his trust with time. Maybe. Right, yes, I want to go up. Because I presume I need to ascend the hub. And look at this. There we go. Uh-oh. That's an actual clock. Okay, so I've got 6 before the solar window happens. Wow! 24? I don't know. Alright, well that's an interface action, so I can do that. I mean, presumably this is going to be an ending of some description. Maybe not. Spares need restarting and the system rebooting, but if you are careful, you can safely untangle some of the sail while you do it. And over here we can patch the solar sails. An exhausting task patching solar sails means maintaining a laser focus for long periods of time. This time is something you don't have. Yeah, I've only got 6 cycles, and I've got none today. But this is going to do 3 every time, which is probably better, because I can only get 2 from those, and it's safe as opposed to dangerous. I mean, not that I'm really going to be doing anything anyway. I still have to pay to be here, don't I? Yep, not going to pay 48 cryo to sleep. I think I've got an exciting home here. Anybody come in? Nope, still can't do anything. And you're still out there in the deep, right? Alright, well, let's go into our empty container and go to sleep there. Nope, I've got all my energy. I'm going to be absolutely starving today, though. Five 5-3-1. Alright, well. I don't know if I want to. I don't know if I want to end. Well, not end here, but I don't know if I want to copy the save so that I can come back to this one. Because I've actually got a time limit crunch on the engineering thing. There's no time limit here, unless you're a time limit. I don't think you're a time limit. Alright, let's go and do some engineering work. Or some stuff for Bliss. It's also Yannick as well. Hey. 100% positive. So yeah, this is going to take 8 dice to do. Hey, and I got some cryo from it as well. If I re-roll, I've got a 50% chance of getting something better. On the 3 dice. Yeah, let's re-roll it. Rather than going with the 5. I got a 1. Alright, okay. Oh, there we go, we've done half of it in a single day. I could downgrade it. Nope. Let's take that 1 and we'll go find someone's data to steal with 1. Oh, there's a new flux node here. I don't need another flux node. That's good to know. Two items, 2 Yannigan datas, which I will sell over here at the Haven Ninja offices. Getting me 20, which I will then go and spend. You're going away, coming back on you. Yep. I'll then go and spend an emphasis assist all. For a lovely 3 energy. And we'll sleep in the empty grate because we will put scrap in us. We'll put 2 bits of scrap in there so that I don't need to do it tomorrow if I forget. I need to earn some scrap from somewhere. End the cycle. Uh, 31163. That's not great. The 3s can become 5s over here. This gives us a 50-50. Let's see what happens. We only got 2 for that, but still. Alright, we're going to put 6 in there as well. I mean, I could do the engineering one. I don't know why. And then we're going to re-roll the 1s. A 3 and a 1. Alright, well you become a 5. There we go, and then whatever I do tomorrow, provided it's alright. Oh. One I will turn into more money. Data. I should have got some Havenage data. You know, just for the hell of it. Just so that I'm playing off both Northside Real Bridge, got Havenage offages. Yeah, have some. And then we'll eat it. Emphasis all again. Hey, how you doing, buddy? I've got more money. Another 3, which means now I don't need to do that for 2 days. And then we'll sleep in the empty crate, seeing as this is where we are. Get some scrap. Wow, I've got a lot of rubbish dice there, but at least the 3 can be turned into a 2. 1, 2, 1, 3, 3. The 3 will be turned into a 5, sorry, with the +2, which is all I need in order to untangle the last of the solar sails. So, bring them ready. There we go, all done. The atmosphere in the airlock is euphoric. You and Bliss keep grinning at each other like idiots. Exhausted, blinded, sore, and aching. Idiots. Sleeper, that was incredible! She punches you on the arm. I never thought we were going to make it. Those idiots tangled the whole thing up like nothing I've ever seen. I am very glad that is over. Too right, she sighs. We'll need a trip to the gimbal. As the lock's inner door clunks open, Moritz gives a rare whoop. He looks exhausted too, and for good reason. Moritz has been the one ferrying tools and parts backwards and forwards from the ship. His tight smile tells you he's glad it's done. Sleeper, Bliss, he shakes his head. Impressive. When I saw the ship come in, I thought there was no way. Thank you, Moritz, she winks, for believing in us. Moritz rolls his eyes. You know what I mean, take the compliment. He showed us some of the gear that came back in with you, Bliss. That came back in with you and Bliss, and heads to the rack to stow it. Let's dance you. I think you should be the one to do the honors. He nods to the ragged-looking console Moritz assembled. Don't want to jinx it. She smiles, but you can see she is genuinely nervous. Let's look over that console. You slide over to the console and check the screen. It takes a second to see what you are doing through the flickering, cracked display. But after a moment, you see the accounts. And there it is, almost 1,000 cryo, sat in the base transfer account. Well, this calls. Have we been screwed again? Yes, definitely. Most utterly, there is nothing there. Nothing for you. I can't remember how much I invested at the beginning. I think it was 200. We did it! Huzzah! Ness kicks off from the floor and spins into the bay, shouting as she does. Noise takes Moritz by surprise. Not supplies. And he knocks a rack of parts, including supplies, scattering a handful of metal fixtures across the bay. The side is something. Glittering steel catch from all work lights. Like glitter. Sorry, says Bliss, grinning, when she comes back down. I needed that. She kicks off and joins you at the terminal. Moritz even managed to sell that produce. We made a tidy profit, actually. She laughs. Here. She loads a stack of blank chits into the terminal and transfers a chunk of the cryo to you. This is your cut. Let's hand you the chits. Thank you for believing in this place. She looks away and smiles. Even when I couldn't. When you first met me, I was on the edge of giving up. All it would have taken was one more push, but now this place is sparking again. Work is coming in. There are funds in the account. Even Moritz has a spring in his step. Goes to look over at him, happily racking up tools. That's because of you. She punches you on the arm. He likes you. He's a good kid. Isn't bad, is he? She leans in closer. You know he came here looking to rob the place? I gave him a job instead. I mean, it's only changing one letter. She laughs. Don't tell him I told you that. Just thought it might help you understand the kid. It turns away to look at you. Both Bliss and you awkwardly wave. Maybe it's time to change the subject. You gonna be okay? Me? Always. She looks away. From here on out, it's going to be a little easier. I'm gonna look for some component contracts. Stuff that will keep us inside the bay, not out in the black. No need to risk our necks if we don't need to. Or nests. Wanna cash out? That's fine. But there'll always be work for you here when you need it. Hey, I appreciate it. She smiles and then out of nowhere quickly gives you a hug. Steps back and glances around reflectively. Take care, she says, softly. Yeah, you too. Gently. A sleeper? Yes. Don't spend it all at once. So I've got 278 credits. And I have 578. And an upgrade point. So I earned 300 there. And if we're looking at this, one last job. Oh, and this is earning money. Okay. Rest I heard Bliss speaking with someone remotely. Is there another job coming in? Well, I'll have to wait a long number of cycles before that happens. Descend to the rim and then cross to the greenway. I've only got 2 points, so haven't I? Yeah, I don't want hard to kill. Hard to kill isn't worth it. I'll upgrade those two first. So, back to the flotilla to doing stuff. One more day before that happens. I'm not going to be able to finish all of the flotilla before I understand what's going on in the flux. But here, I can put a 3. And maybe I will finish. Oh no, make yourself useful as +2. Who knows? Maybe I will get 2 here. Yes, make myself useful +2. And then I'll put a 4 in here. A 2 in there, making it a 4. Hopefully I don't get the negative, because that would wipe out my energy that I so carefully spent money on. Nope, make yourself useful 1. Some of the shadow control systems fried by the flux. It's slow progress, but the crew will notice the fix, and we did it! Oh, I need to click on a key again. I see you've been contributing. A key stands next to you in the dusthouse window. I was unsure what to expect when we joined the flotilla on this voyage to the Eye, but after the journey across the system, then the quarantine, and then the flux reaching all the way out here too, Key stops herself. Thank you. She bows a little. The ships have only been interested in sending us supplies, but we grow all we need. She gestures to the dusthouse. What the dusthouse needs? That is a problem that concerns us. She smiles and turns to you. Shall we go inside? I'd love to. I'd love to get all of the dust into my gritty little parts and, you know, trail it outside and all over the station and everywhere else. I'm sure that's great. He smiles. Come. She taps away at a panel by the window. Seems only fair after your help with the support systems. You get to see what it is that you are maintaining. Key leads you to an opening beside the window. You pass through a dark changing room. You notice the key is sliding on an oxygen mask and visor. She looks into the swirling dust inside. Inside, it's just like Ember Step. Thin atmosphere, constant dust storms, nothing that will bother you. Hey, I will be bothered by dust in my eyes and joints and everything else. She passes you a mask. Dust isn't exactly pleasant to inhale, however, so take this. You hold it to your face. She leads you through a short decontamination tunnel with its fizzing panels and purifying light, and then through into the dust house. Immediately, the wind and the heat hits you. You feel the rough waves of dust scratching across your face and peer through the ember murk. Your feet slide onto the shifting piles of sand. Welcome to Step, or an emulation of it at least. Key's voice sounds distant, echoey. The terraforming process only managed to provide a limited atmosphere around the moon, one which is slowly escaping. It's been like that since I was born, so I got used to the idea. Catch her bright eyes through the ember dust. Amber dust. I guess it's ember dust too. So did everything else that lives here. Or there. You feel something hard beneath your feet, beneath the sand, like a coil of rope. Look down. Make sure it's not a snake. You instinctively look down and see something pale and twisting poking out of the sand. Key sees you looking. This is steppe silk. It's one of the plants we established on Step. She kicks away some red sand. Like any bast fibre, it can be ratted down and woven into clothes. I'm wearing some made from it myself. It's one of the many species adapted to Step when the Solheim collapse. Or since the Solheim collapse. Which is why it must be preserved. He stares out into the swirling dust. It's as much a refugee as we are. And the dust house holds hundreds of other species. It's not a sandworm, fortunately. You look at the pale, unassuming root, threaded thickly through the sand. Key watches you silently. Had enough? It'd be easier to speak outside. I mean, I'd like to see more than some rope. I'd like to see some of the other hundreds of species. Like, even if it's just a fly. Anyway, but a key is apparently leading me back out through the decontamination tunnel, which blasts the dust from both of you with a burst of metallic tasting air, and into the changing room. Key hangs up both masks, patiently awaiting your questions. What happened on Ember's Step? I don't want to... I mean, I want to know why you brought plants with you, but I can guess why. Key pauses, pulling her shawl around her. She looks small and pale inside its layers. Step was already a doomed world. She sniffs. When Solheim gave the terraforming contract to Cybele, they believed they could build an atmosphere, but the moon's erratic orbit made it impossible to maintain. By the time of Solheim's collapse, the atmosphere was already fading. Cybele's attention was on Ember's hearth. After the collapse, Cybele fell too. Its researchers scattered across the moons, and any central organization lost. Since then, my parents' generation worked tirelessly to survive, to adapt what we had to the failing moon. Steppe silk, the other adaptive species, they're the life's work of the Steppe's colonies. So when the flux started to collapse our computer systems, erode and destroy our life support, our water supply, our agriculture, we had to leave. Key sits heavily on a nearby bench. Soon the only traces of Steppe will be on this ship. Key begins to cry quietly, unsure what to do. I'm just going to sit beside her. It's not the time to bombard her with questions. And it's not the time to stand there silently like a robot. Sit down, be a presence just next to her. Sit on the bench beside her as she sobs. You understand why this ship, why the refugees from Steppe are... they're so different. The world was already dying when the flux arrived. Ember Steppe is a terraform moon. partial atmosphere, established colonies, agriculture. Yet when the flux event started, its people had to leave. Think of the eye and the delicate web of decaying systems it rests upon. What hope does a ruined station have against a wave that corrupts, corrodes, and collapses? Key interrupts your thoughts, rubbing her eyes. Not everyone left. There wasn't room to take all the people and fill the dust houses. Their parents, their friends, and many others stayed, she sniffs. We carry the step. For them. Perhaps there is hope. We learn not to talk of hope on a dying world. I mean, we frequently talk of hope on this, our dying world that we are killing. Well, I guess the world isn't dying. It's just humanity. There is meaning for them, and any future they can hope to build with the time they have. She stands up. I wanted you to understand the importance of these dust houses, what they contain. She leads you back into the corridor. If the flux offense continues to reach out to the eye, we need to build protections to ensure their safety. Key meets her eye. Alright, I can help. Key smiles weakly. I knew it. You'll be welcome on the wind's long shadow whenever you wish. These dust houses are already decaying. I've seen it. She stares into the dust. We had thought that they would last longer, but that last flux event. Help us. He looks at you. Please. I will. When you're ready, we will begin the preparations for reinforcing the dust houses. You need to be ready for the next flux event. Key's eyes shine with the last of her tears. She takes a breath. I will see you soon. Key drifts away down the corridor, leaving you alone once more at the viewing window, watching the ragged, delicate traces of the moon known as Amberstem. Well, what needs to be done there now? Preservation. At 12 o'clock, where I can intuit or engineer. Well, preservation here on Step Silk Care gets you 3. Dust House Shielding only gets you 2. But I've got a +2 on engineering and only a +1 on Step Silk Care. Well, either way, I need to re-roll those 1s because they're 1s. Houses made of dust. Can't imagine they'd have a lot of staying power. Yes. All it requires is a big bad wolf to come along and, man, you're screwed. A 3-1. Well, that didn't help. Alright, let's do this. I could get a neutral outcome or I could get a positive outcome with that 3 becoming a 5. Dun, 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 dun. Ooh, that ate 2 of my energy. But I got 1 there. Alright. So doing the Step Silk Care is less energy intensive. Because that is only 2. Whereas that is 4. Alright, well. With only a 1, I guess we're doing the same thing that we always do. However, this time, it's time to steal Havenage data. Extract the data. 2 data items extracted. Time to sell it in the auto exchange. No. Who wants this data? The Batian? No. I know somebody wants this data. Temple Tea House? Yes. Just not paying enough attention. Can't remember the names of places I need to go. Well, there we go. I have 20 credits. And we'll either emphasis stall again. $586. And we'll go to sleep. gonna go to sleep in the commune this time. Not that it matters. And the cycle. This is the day when Peak will know more about the flux. I've only got one bit of scrap. I need to get some more scrap from places. But I've got a decent, a decent thing here. 53365. No? Do I need to go and see you up here? Oh, that's where I can get the scrap. Yep, that's great. Hey there, Peak. Tell me things. Have you heard of KAN channel, Sleeper? Peak asks as soon as you enter the bay, as if you were in the middle of a conversation. There are heavy circles under their eyes, and you aren't sure they've moved since you last visited. The console they were working at seems to have grown too, shadowing the slight frame in the wealth of screens and wires. Can? K-A-N? You mean for transit? I'm going to say no, though. Tell me your things. Peak turns to value. Keomanias? Active negotiations. It's the name of the effect used to transport trillions of tons of materials from the surrogate systems to the core. You might have heard of it in your physics classes. At XPR, they hammered the principles into us as kids. KAN. Peak recites the definition as if in a classroom. A process of collapsing spatial causality along with the Euclidean distance between 2 points by negating mass simultaneously at both ends of the geodesic curve. Essentially, KAN channels allow for the near instantaneous transport of raw materials between systems. They require huge volumes of energy, of course, and decades of construction. Once a KAN channel is established, it opens up a system for infinite exploitation. Backbones of surrogacy is what XPR called them. Pink shakes their head. They might not be able to send anything more complex than a rock through them. Complex machines and people are, shall we say, reconfigured by the process. But for raw, molecularly pure materials, Pink flicks a hand. Whoosh. Where is this going? Didn't you hear? To the other end of the transport that they're doing. Do you not understand? This is your research? I mean, is that the wave expanding out trying to transport something and it's reconfiguring all of those things, but not us? I don't know. Pick pauses. What I was trying to find out was whether the Helion system, this system, ever had a CAN channel. CAN channels are vastly expensive to build, to run. Not every surrogacy system has one. Many use fraction drive ships to transport their materials to the nearest hub. But Solheim? Pink smiles. Solheim spared no expense when they established this system. So they had a CAN channel. Yep. Pink eyes light up. They shut it down before the collapse. Couldn't run the sender-receiver station anymore. It was there. Still is, as far as I can tell. Closely orbiting our star. In fact, Pete grins. We've been building to this. I'm sure it's still there, because one of the issues with CAN channels are the massive waves of exotic energy that they can produce when cycling up. Oh, okay, so that's the flux. Exactly. His face suddenly drops. Someone is starting up the channels. I'm more interested in why than who. Pete sucks in the breath. That I don't know. I started counting off information on their fingers. They need a lot of resources to do it. They need to have people from the core systems. There's no real large-scale extraction in the Helion system anymore, so why would they go to the trouble? That doesn't need a finger. You only need 2 fingers. Maybe they're doing it just to trigger the flux? I can't see the logic behind that. Why you would jump to that conclusion, but let's stick with it. Pink rubs her eyes. Flux, the wave the CAN effect produces, is a side effect. A problematic one, but it isn't a destructive force. If it was, the core systems would never have been able to use it. So then why are colonies collapsing because of it? Why is it chewing through systems? The kind of industrial system set up to function within the range of a once active CAN channel. Peak is getting frustrated. Moons of Ember have been terraforming since before the collapse. We would have had to deal with a flux ship. Everything we have heard from these refugees says it brought down every system they had. Pete was quiet, thinking it all through. Your mind drifts too, thinking of the can channels, those vast causal highways that prop up the core systems and their endless appetite for resources. So the system has been quiet for decades. Solheim collapsed. Most corporations gave up their claims. And apart from the seller ships that came to work on the sidereal horizon, no one from the core has come here in all that time. You shiver as you imagine the attention of the core, systems of logic and exploitation that created you, created your suffering, turning towards the Helion system. Floodlight turns into this dark corner. A shrill beep catches both of your attention. Peak rushes to the screen, one showing a crude map of the station. On it, individual markers begin to flare up with the insistent chirps. Peak looks puzzled for a moment, and then their face stops. No, no, no! They lean in close. This doesn't make any happens. This doesn't make any sense. Not happens. What's happening? What's sensing? Flux nodes are appearing elsewhere on the station. He pulls ahead. I set this system to alert me to other flux nodes near the epicenter of a flux event. These are everywhere. The hub, the lowland, the shipyard. How can this happen? The only reason we saw flux nodes here is because it was the most run-down part of the station. They were barely shielded, but others appearing so far after the event? He turns to you. You are going to need to get me data from these nodes, and quickly. I'll keep looking at them, at what I have here, but I need to know why they are popping up everywhere. Right now? Right now. You can talk more about CAN channels and system history when you get back, but this needs our attention right now. Peak turns quickly back to the monitor, the eyes following scrolling nodes of code spewing from the newly fluxed nodes. Now leave quickly, but struggling to shake the image of the spotlight from your mind. You feel watched as you cross back into the Pilgrim Seed on your way to a shuttle bay. You hurry onwards, eager to outrun the fear. Alright. So what do I need to input here? 3 flux data. I can probably do that today. And you know, I'm more interested in the flux than I am in the refugees. Loath as I am to say that. No, you've got no fluxes here now? Alright, okay. I know there was a flux data somewhere around here. Here's one. I'm going to put a 5 in here, just on the off chance that... pt6, hey! +5 cryo. Delicious monies. 1 flux data. Can I do that one again? Nope, that one's gone. There's another flux node. You need a 5. I have a 5. Yeah, I'll put 5 in. 5 pass. Extract data. Another flux data. And the other one must be at the top of the spire. Isn't it lucky that I got myself access to ascend to the hub? Otherwise, you know, that would have been a problem. You need a 4. I don't have a 4, but I do have a 6. So, there we go. No monies for me, no extra cryos though. But there we go, all 3 datas. Now, close the eye, go down. Hey, I have 3 bits of data. I'm good at interfacing. Loads of data into the decoding setup. I'll be a moment. Don't leave, sleeper. You watch as Peak works on the flux data. The nodes unfolding like flowers now, giving in to Peak's increasingly sophisticated decoding protocols. Seeing data like this, as an image on a screen, it's almost unrecognizable representation to you. It's nothing like swimming among nodes and threads. Despite this, Peak has proved themselves to be more than able to handle these complex data structures, even though there's limited representational paradigm. bay door hisses, interrupting the flow of your thoughts. You turn to see Eshe entering. Eshe! Or Ishi, however we're pronouncing it. She looks up and meets your eyes. She doesn't respond. Ishi stalks into the bay, head down. She looks tired, and not in the mood to talk. How's the weapon hunt? Mick asks without turning from their screen. Slow, unsuccessful, tedious. Ichi slams her bag down on the grate and hops to sit on it. You still unpicking the ball of yarn? With the sleeper's help, Peak smiles. They brought me some good stuff this cycle. Maybe they can help you find the weapons you were smuggling? It's clear that Ishi doesn't appreciate Peak's tone. Still looking? Uh-huh, Ishi replies. Whoever took them better be making the most of their rapidly shortening lifespan right now. Ishi cuts in without looking away from the console. We talked about this. This was my mistake, Beak, and I'll fix it how I want. She folds her arms. I know one of the factions on the flotilla has taken them. I just need to find out. Beak holds up a hand. Shh. And leaning in towards the screen. Son of a... What? They hit it in the wave of the wave. Beak is rushing himself. It's alive! Which is something that I suspected at the beginning. They leaned back in the chair. She rushes over to the screen. Alive? Well, it's growing. It's processing. It's quietly working away in the dark. Look. You cross over to the screen. Stand behind Ishi. You can see that Peak has all 4 nodes decoded. And a pattern of shadows for inside them. It's on the screen like dark stains. Then you notice it. The movement. Thin threads cross from one stain to another. Stain. As they watch, you notice. As you watch, you notice that the movements only ever happen in your peripheral vision. As if this thing, the shadow, knows it's being watched. They're over there. Thanks for pointing them. They're just over there. That's great. That was easy. This is how other flux nodes appeared. Pink rubs her eyes. They weren't fluxed by the wave, they were corrupted after the fact. This thing, the shadow that entered into the wake of the wave, it corrupted them. But it made the corruption look like the result of the flux. It's a sleight of hand. Pink runs her hand through their hair. The same hand, the same hair, so many times now. The flux wave is so massive, so complex, it opens up systems to be attacked. As it reconfigures exposed systems, this shadow is broadcast implanted inside. The wave from the CAN channel is a brute force wave hitting every system in Helion. Once the systems are vulnerable, Pink looks pale, their eyes reflecting the screens. The flux isn't what is attacking the system. It's the siege weapon, a Trojan horse. Then this thing takes over. Pink sits back in her chair. It's already on the eye. Wait. Ishi rubs her forehead. You're telling me there's a CAN channel in this system? Chip. Pink isn't listening. This is bad. We have to take this to someone. Pink looks desperately at you. Helena. Or Helene, sorry. Not Sol. Helene. Is that wise? She cuts in. Havenage haven't exactly made good decisions lately. They made the decision to cut out the person who was corrupt. Yeah, the station's administrators issue, because desperate. They need to know, exactly. The argument rages between them as you watch them shouting you feel sick. Ooh. I collapsed. Do I have a shadow inside me? That's not good. Helion abandoned. Indeed. After a while they stop, running out of things to say. An unsettling silence descends on the bay. I need more time, Pink says quietly. I need to look at solutions to try to build a case. Collect the evidence. We mess this up. They look down at their hands. If she goes to speak, and then thinks better of it. Not a word, Sleeper. Pink moves your eye. Don't tell anyone until they are ready. Until you are ready. Right? Yes, I. With the tensions among the refugees, Sol won't be ready to hear this. And Lane and Havenage are still mired in some kind of crisis. Until Havenage, they are likely to react badly. Until Sol, I doubt will take it well either. If you can calm the situation in the flotilla, then we can choose. Okay, cool. I'm working on that. We're too twisted up in this, Peak, she says quietly. This is not our place. We don't owe... Stop, Ishi. He slaps in the chair. Stop. You leave them like that, exhausted and troubled, and head back out into the pilgrim seat. When you close your eyes, think of those shadows. Movement at the edge of your vision. Something dark growing in the station, like a parasite. You feel sick. Your vision blurs. What comes next? You stop at the corner. You stop in a corridor. Take a breath. Putting a hand on the rumbling metal wall. For now, the eye keeps spinning. For now. Yay! Upgrade complete. Alright, so I need to complete all of these things. I don't see anything else. So I guess that is where it ends. This, if we need to bind the flotilla together, and then they will do a thing. But we now have another 3 points. So I can intuit or I can engage. I'm not sure. What have we got going on? Engineering, engaging. Intuit. So one of each so far. Intuit. Alright, looks like we'll be leveling up Intuit. Yeah, alright. I mean, Thrill Seeker would have been nice. If I had done Engage, then there would have been a greater chance to gain energy. But, hey. Alright. Alright, let's put in a 3. Hope that it becomes a positive, because now it's 5. I could re-roll. No, we'll just do it. We'll just make it a 5 and hopefully we'll get a positive 50-50 slot. Yeah, there we go. We've got 3 off of that. The only thing we lose over here is cryo, but it's only going to get 1. Over here we would lose 2 energy. It might be a good idea to finish off the Pilgrim Seed. Although that requires 6. It's a safe, so now we're 5. I mean, I could just re-roll it. The odds are 50-50 that I get a better outcome. Because I need a 4, 5 or a 6. If I get a 3, then that's fine. So I've got a 66% chance of getting a 3 or better. And I've only got a 50-50 chance of it being a positive outcome. So yeah, we'll roll the dice here. Oh, we got a 2. So now we can have a 25% chance of getting a negative action. Alright, we'll try this and see what happens. I mean, this was probably the wrong thing. Negative outcome. We got +1. But it's a safe action, so I can't lose anything. So I only got a 1. 1, 2, 3, so there's 5 there. Alright, well, it's time for me to go to sleep. And I need to go and find some scrap next time. Because otherwise I won't have 5 dice, I'll be down to 4 dice. So, and I'm starving. 4, 6, 2, 5, 6. Alright. Where's the... there it is. So I'm going to put a... wait, why is this? Oh, because it's endure. Alright, so I'm going to put the 5 in there, so that we've got a 100% positive outcome. Or not lose condition. I will gain 1 piece of scrap. There we go. And then, before we forget, we will put the piece of scrap to self-repair, so that we stay in the 5 die range. And we'll do some stuff over here. We'll do some preservation. with a risky maneuver. Oh. That's going to add 3. Or I could do a risky engineering action, which will also be 100% positive. It will only get me 2, but there's the possibility I would earn scrap. No, that's not worth it. We'll do the 4 to risky. Or the 4 to 6 risky, which is no risk at all. We'll get 3 pieces. And then we need another 5. Which I could finish off here with my 2 6s. Yeah, alright, so I put 1 in here, and then possibly earn some scrap, doing 2, and then I put 1 in the other one, where I will earn 3, which will finish it off. I can do with some scrap, that's the only reason you're going in there? No, no scrap. Alright, so I put the 6 in here, that will fill up the clock. And luck's holding, yeah. There we go. Now to speak to a key. You and a key stand side by side at the viewing window in silence. Thus swirls and you glimpse the twisted root system of the step silk through the oak haze. After all these cycles, you feel a strange connection to a world on which you have never set foot. He shifts from foot to foot. He seems restless, eager to speak, but unsure of what to say. Dust house looks good. He smiles at you warmly. They do. She pauses and turns back to the window. What is the value of all this? She asks suddenly. Of preserving a world we have left behind. History, heritage, or conservation? I think conservation, I'm going to say. I mean, history and heritage are also things that you're preserving, but I'm going to go with conservation. Kate is silent for a moment. These creatures should be protected, yes, but for us, their conservation is conditional. We keep them alive because we need to use them. Can't pretend we are conservators when we harvest as much as we were able. Well, you didn't say that before. I made my judgment based on the fact that you were keeping this alive and happened to be wearing some clothing. Didn't say we harvest everything that we keep alive. He paces away, lost in thought. I'm grateful to you for helping to protect the dust houses, for ensuring their slide into decay is delayed, even averted. But now I find myself at an impasse. The stability of the dust house changes things. It makes me aware of how blinkered we have been. The key stops to look at you. Our posture is somehow different. If the ecosystem of the steppe, if its people cannot grow to meet the future, why preserve it? He frowns. Are we just slaves to the preservation of what came before? What is the value? Views and clicks. Good. I mean, I don't want. I mean, not slaves and inheritors. You can change. I don't understand. I mean, why are you doing this? You're doing this. Not slaves, inheritors. He nods, but the weight of this inheritance is heavy. Case comes close. Odds. Your hands in hers. We must change. We must change to live. She smiles. I've seen that in you. Step. These people, this ship, should serve more than heritage, than history. It should also serve the future. She takes a breath. There are those in the flotilla that need clothes. They need food. They can benefit from the gifts of the Steppes ecosystem. I mean, I largely assumed that's why you were doing it in the first place. I want you to invite them. Can you do that for me? Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. I know that Soul sent you. No, Soul did not send me. Soul said, hey, these things are going on over there. Certainly. But I chose to come. Anyway, she smiles. You can tell him Aki, captain of the Wind's Long Shadow, invites all the people of the flotilla to come. I'm not going to say captain, as if to say, oh, I never figured out you were the captain. I mean, it would be nice if I was speaking to somebody who wasn't vitally important. But, you know, hey, that's the way it goes. I will. She nods. Key steps away. You want to know about the flux, no? About its purpose? Its origin? She smiles. You wish to protect your home as we could not. I'm afraid I don't have much to tell you. I mean, we already know. We figured it out, don't worry. It's an exotic wave of sorts, an energy that passes through matter. It shifts the very charged particles that run through our electrical systems. It's possible to shield against it as you would radiation. Oh, as we have done with the dust houses, but only while it is weak. Flux event here was much like the first ones we felt on Ember, localized, destructive but bearable. But in time its strength grew. I don't know if it will be the same here, but... She pauses. It's coming from the center of the system, from the close orbit of Helion star, H1. That is all we could uncover. She is silent for a moment, unsure of what to add. I'm sorry I cannot offer more. But you're always welcome on this ship, she smiles. I hope I will see you here when the others come. She squeezes both your hands. I hope these ships, these dust houses, can be more than a museum. I hope they can be a home. I mean, they're more than a museum now. You're taking things from them in order. They're an industry at the moment because you're taking the stuff from them to be used to keep you alive and the others of the flotilla now that you're expanding. With this, she turns and leaves. You feel that word, home, resonating within you like a struck bell. Ah! I can't come back! No! The option to do things is gone. Alright, if I look here, one of the 3 is filled in. That's great. Alright. Well, I have only a 2 if I re-roll. Let's hope I don't get a 1. I got a 6! A beautiful, beautiful 6. Alright. I don't see what the point of putting Matsuko caps in there is. I can't remember how to generate them, but presumably down here at the mushrooms. This is where I would germinate spores. But I don't want to do that. Cryo caps or grow spores. Yeah, I don't want either of those. Alright, so no mushrooms. Nothing going on with mushrooms. Don't care about mushrooms. Except I'm going to eat loads of mushrooms. Right, I've got a 6. Engineering would get me scrap. Engage might get me energy. But 6, I'm going to do it here because I can't fail. And it will give me 2 access systems rather than 1. So, access house are overflowing. Access houses an overflowing job order. Engineering tasks requested by the crews. You can help out here. It's an odd speech. You take a handful of jobs and work through them, sharing tips and chatting with the crews. You can feel them warming to you. Alright. That's great. I've used all my dice for the day. So the only thing to do is to eat. I thought I could eat here as well. Maybe I can't. Maybe I can. Maybe it's in the farm stacks. Yeah, I can do it for 13s. Wow, I can steal the harvest here. Okay. I forgot about that. But I mean, this gives me 16 right now. I don't think it's worth. I mean, it's not worth spending the extra 1. I mean, it might have been worth spending the extra 1 so I didn't have to cross and cross back again. But you know, you don't want anything, do you? No, we finished with you. And there's still Yannick's ward, which we haven't done anything with. That's cool. That's cool. Amphistall. I'd like to get over 600 credits just to see if it can go over 600 credits. Da-na-na-na, 3 energy. You're actually here, aren't you? Yeah, alright. I will buy start action. I will have 48. I will spend 48 to get another ship mind fragment. Because now I can make a ship mind if I need to. Are you here as well? You are. Alright. Oh, that was stupid. That was so very stupid. Because now I am guaranteed to get a hive mind. Because that is the way it works. Alright, I'm not going to get over 600 now. Yeah. Wow, I am absolutely shocked and amazed that I did not get a hive mind there. Because that is usually the way it works. The worst thing possible at the worst possible time. Sleeping in commune. Hold up. 4, 3, 4, 6, 6. Alright, well let's put some scrap into my body. Which, you know, is largely eating junk food. Or largely like eating junk food. And then we'll continue on with you guys. 2 6s. Well, let's put the 4s in here, making them 6s, and gaining us double assistance, and possibly scrap. No, no scrap there. I said double assistance and scrap. No, still didn't. No, we filled in 6 of the things. And I've got 2 6s. Yeah, alright. We'll use the 6s here and we'll finish up the Pilgrim Seed support. No, that was Earth Survival 3. Focus on the most important tasks first. Ship repair, supply chains, organisation, and quickly see the effects. That's Survival 3. We've done it. I'm going to reroll that 3 at the top before we go on. I got a 5! Yay! And here we're with Sol. Sol finds you deep in the layers of the Pilgrim Seed, working on a patch of life support. Working on a patch for a life support bit. Not working on a patch, like an area. Working on patching it up. You hear him coming, his suit hissing as he does. I had to ask around to find you, he smiles. It seems you know this place better than me these days. I've put in the time. We thank you for it. So hands out to hold. Stand up. Let me see you. Pulls you to your feet. I don't believe we ever had a sleeper on board this Earth. So looks you up and down. You sure do make me wish we had. Could have done with a few workers as good as you. Nothing to do with sleepers, everything to do with me being me. Thank you. So nods. You're welcome. Seems like I owe you some answers. Seems you've been working hard on the Pilgrim Seed these past cycles. It leans against the crate. Suit hissing. Creaking. What do you want to know? I gotta go with more about the flux now. Sorry. The flux is a critical juncture. So size. That's what I imagined. He scratches his beard. I can't say I'm an expert. Tell you what we witnessed on Hearth. First we ignored it. A few farms had their automated systems blink out. Left their suits locked up. Bots reset their schedules. Nothing we hadn't seen before. But then news came out of Passieria. Passieria? They'd been hit harder. The local network had gone down. No one could get it back up. It was rough for a while, but out in the farmland we're used to that. Passieria? Capital of Hearth. Tens of thousands of souls made it there. It's all premises. Anyway, we thought the flux was a freak event until one day I got the network running again. That's when the cascade happened. System after system corrupted, data lost. And then another flux hit. And another. Robots were running circles in the fields. People had to be cut out of their lifter suits, like mine. Ah. That's a lifter suit, is it? Okay. And the city? I never saw it, but I heard from the others. Salt and shivers. It only got worse from there. Couldn't seem to fight it. It cut us right open. I mean, if it was disrupting all the electrical systems, or all the electronic systems, like that, then I don't understand how your ship survived. Did you build new ships afterwards? And if you did, why can't we just cut out all of the affected systems and then put in new stuff? The Flux, a rather disappointing Doctor Who arc. Yeah, I was mentioning that at the beginning as well. Perhaps that is what is corrupting this. All of the systems are watching the Doctor Who arc and then going, oh, I don't want to work anymore. Speaking of Doctor Who arcs, as we are at this point, Doom, or Doomed, or whatever it is called, that involves the word Doom, which is going to be a multimedia event, crossing comics and games and audio and everything, with one person with Doom being in, I believe it's 24 different things, because it needs to be 24 because they've got one day in which to find the Doctor, and somebody's going to kill Doom. I'm not all that enthused by it. I mean, okay, it'd be interesting to see all those things, but the chances of me actually finding all of the 24 different things that have Doom going on in them, and the chances of more than half of the 24 things actually being good, I don't rate it highly. I won't find all the 24, and there won't be more than half of them that will be good. So overall it will be a disappointing thing. Doom looks like it will be very dire indeed. Yeah, I do not want to criticize the actor slash comedian who is doing that, because I am sure she will be doing her best to make it what it. I do not think the personality that they are building it around is strong enough to cover all 24 episodes and make it compelling to see all 24, or even a majority of them. The little teaser that we had looked lackluster. It did not compel me to do that. See that? There was no strong presence there that I wanted to see. Well, I'll probably catch, like, chances are I will catch the Big Finish stuff and the BBC stuff, and that's it. And how many parts that makes up, I don't know. But yeah, I'm not overly enthused by it. Anyway, Sol tells me that's what I know about the Flux. Some folks say it came from the inner systems, that it might be connected to some old tech there or something, but I never heard anything more than rumours. Sol scratches their beard. Sorry, I don't have better news. Tell Chef's on the great. Anything else you wanted to ask? There was something. Tell me about Ember's Hearth. Sure, he smiles. I mean, I spent my whole life on that rock, so I have plenty to tell. I'll save my life story for another time, like when I ask you about you in, a second after this. He winks. But the short of it is, Hearth is the first of Ember's Moon, the biggest, and the most populated. Which is down to the successful terraforming systems Cybele set up back when Solheim owned the system. How are the relations with the other moons? Looks like you're nearly finished here, but you're off, so you'll catch the rest later. Thank you for being here. Go away and get sleep well, as I think we said to whoever that depressed, moody person, Peter was. Anyway, how are the relations with the other moons? South Mars. Depends who you've been talking to. You shouldn't mistake me for a politician, Sleeper. That's what others do. Gives you a look. Got Amber Step was a test ground for the terraforming tech that Earth is built on. While Ebersong was the extraction site for the raw materials and energy needed to make it work. You can imagine that might lead to some tension. Only if they're mistreated. However, Solheim's upper hand. Despite what people might say, Earth was never fully stable. Sol shakes his head. Savell liked to talk it up, but after they pulled out and Solheim left, our people discovered they'd have to keep the systems running themselves, or the place would end up as dry as steppe. Earth was good as long as the evaporators kept running, kept filling our skies with clouds. Even after the collapse, our people kept those things going, turning that subsurface ocean into a periwinkle blue sky. Soft smiles. Flux ended that, though. When they failed, the rains failed, and the harvest with it. It's all paused. Soon, you have a city without a way to feed itself. Self-shows. That's when we, some of us, made the decision to set out on this place. Gestures at the Pilgrim's Eid, and look for another future. Just great. Is there anything else you wanted to ask? There was something. Tell me about you. I'll squint at you. Want to know about me? I'm not sure that was part of the deal I was thinking of, Sleeper. Okay, and? It's not part of any deal. We're not doing a deal. I just want to know about you. Unless you're asking about this. He raps on the metal of his suit. In case you haven't guessed, this is the only thing that's keeping me vertical. He adjusts the shoulder piece. It's a lifter suit, made for working the fields. I had to modify it so I could walk around after the exit. That's all I'm saying, Sleeper, because, to be honest with you, I don't know you more than that. You want to know about the flux? About Emma's Earth? Go ahead. I've already asked you about both of those things. You've told me all you know about those. I don't pry into my life, and I won't pry into yours. Alright? Sol lets the silence sit, hanging hard on the floor. The sit seems to loom over him, looking more like a burden than a support. With the bars around his head, he starts to think of it like a cage. Look, I don't mean to be rude. Let's leave it there. There are too many eyes on me on this ship as it is. I'd rather just slip into the background. Thank you very much. So shifts on the grate. Anything else you wanted to ask? There was something. So what do you want to know? Something buzzes on Sol's suit. He glances at you and it frowns. Looks like the time's up, Sleeper. Well, I didn't have anything else to ask about either. Sol stands, flexing against the suit. He takes his cane in his hand. Give it up, Sleeper. Smiles as he leaves. You're making me think I need to start making new plans for this place. With that, Sol leaves. You wonder what he means. As he creaks away down the corridor, you can't help but feel there's more to him than it seems. Oh, but I can still go back here. Just to see that I haven't filled all of them out. Well, I haven't, but that will happen tomorrow. Right now, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's time to do an engineering action. Thank you. We will start the action. +2, act as assistants. We're all out. So, time to grab some energy. Let's go to the bar and cook up these mushrooms. No, let's keep the mushrooms just in case I need them. I've got 400. I can afford another 12, is it? 12 for another 3 here at good old Emphasis. Where the emphasis is on good eating. Now we'll go back. Get some sleep in the commune on a lovely bed. Yep, I'm stable, so I don't need to put any stuff in. Ooh, 31112. That's a horrible roll. And I'm gonna re-roll. 45313. That's not so bad. Alright, we'll put the 4 in the engineering to make it 6. There we go. We'll put the 5 in here. Do some more engineering. Hey, and we got random scrap. Excellent. Well, we're done. You going to talk to us more, Petter? Sleeper! Petter calls to you as you cross the axis. He's standing by the same railing as you saw him last time. He beckons you over. I've been hearing things. Gives you a sideline look. Good things? Mostly. Sometimes I pick up my sister's kids from school just to help out, yeah. You know, I don't know all of the parents there like my sister would because she picks them up every other time I don't. I bumped into one of the parents there and they went, "Oh, you must be Richard." They recognized me. I said, so I said, "Oh, we told you that?" He said, "Oh, your sister, don't worry, she told me all about you." I said, "Oh, most of it's lies." And I went, "Oh no, it's all good." And I went, "Ah, all of it was lies." Hilarity. He rubs his hands together nervously. You wait for him to speak. You know, on song, I was a teacher. Yeah, I got that idea from when you were actually doing the repetition in the classroom type thing. Glances you, expecting a response. I'm going to stay silent. Mechanical engineering. It's an essential subject on the moon where a single mechanical failure could mean the death of hundreds. He looks at the ground. The heat, the atmosphere, the radiation, all of it is hostile to us. I mean, it's hostile to everybody. My students knew this. Their work, their training, was respected. As long as they were careful, and they respected some themselves, they could have their choice of colony placements. They were always in demand. That meant I was respected, surrounded by friends and colleagues. I was able to call in favours, and repay them like for like. Friends. Some colonies are small, close-knit. We look after our own. When the flux event started hitting, colonies went dark overnight. We knew what those kind of failures meant. Like always, we lost more people than any of the other moons. He puts his hands into tight fists. Not a single one of my students left Song. Our future was cut off, just like that. My future. Flexes his hands. What am I here? What use am I? Song is a fading memory. The systems we built, they're useless outside of its orbit. How am I supposed to move on from here? He looks at you. Eyes steely grey and glinting. Find someone to teach. Invest in the next generation. You can still do that. Peter pauses, thinking. Petter. I don't know. You don't give up, do you, Sleeper? Just keep going. I mean, I'll wear down if I wait long enough. Petter shakes his head. You remind me of a student of mine. One who entered the program from one of the smaller colonies. They didn't have the advantage of some of the others, but they were stubborn. Stubborn as hell! By the end of the program, they were the most skilled of their peers. They didn't get the best assignments, maybe because they didn't spend much time making the kind of connections that would help you get there. But that didn't matter, because I knew they would make the best of anything they set themselves to. Petter is smiling now. Quiet up a little, my memory. Singers are stubborn, Sleeper. Not going to change easily. Won't forgive easily, or take help easily. We'll hold strong. You can count on us for that. Petter stands from the ring. When you see Sol again, you can tell him that. You can tell him how the crews of Ever Song operate. Tell him we will resist. If that means resisting Hearth's imperialist ambitions, so be it. I don't know what you're reading from that, but alright, okay. If it means resisting the flux, so be it. And if it means to, as you have, help others resist those same pressures, so be it. Petter smiles. And tell him he has to leave us alone. He turns, steps lighter, and he heads off towards the center of the Axis hub. I mean, I assume you are the leader there. Alright, Sol. When you arrive at the bridge of the Pilgrim, Seed Sol is waiting for you. You won't believe the messages that have come through over the past few cycles, Sleeper. He smiles. No, I wouldn't, because they told me to tell you. So, you know, if they sent messages themselves. God damn it. The ship from Step sent a goodwill gesture, a whole cache of supplies from their own farms. Smiles. Not sure how we'll use them, but the gesture is a worthwhile one. Song, meanwhile, are apparently accepting supplies again, though little reticently, if I might say. So Smiles. Expect them to change anytime soon, it should be said. What I'm wondering, Sleeper, is what part you had to do with it. Oh, as you wait for answer. I helped where I could. I've come to expect that of you, Sleeper. Smiles. Look at Sol. His eyes bright and eager. I wonder what he sees in you. Are you a tool to be used, or an ally? It'd be hard to tell. I want to show you something. Sol squeezes your shoulder. Ah! You used your left arm! My shoulder! It crumpled. Turning you to face the left. It leads you along the axis of the ship, towards the engines. The clanking of the suit. The clanking of his suit, accompanied by the constant hammering and wielding that fills the echoey bulkheads of the Pilgrim Seed at all hours. With the cordon lifted and Cheryl was able to go out to salvage scrap and barter for supplies, the ship has become a place of transformation, moving towards some state yet to be revealed to you. You look at Sol. What's his plan here? What is he preparing the Pilgrim Seed for? Or his sharp eye simply focused on making it through the next cycle? Suddenly Sol stops in front of a huge bulkhead door, like a seal on the front of a dry dock hangar. He signals to someone in the cabin high up, attached to the wall, and they begin the process of opening it up. The Pilgrim Seed was built as a short-range freight carrier, you know. The amber warning lights on the bulkhead door sending shadows across Sol's face. We'll be able to ship the entire harvest from thousands of farms to silos at Azuria. When we realised we'd need to leave, it was the biggest ship we can muster. Sol raps on a metal plate, and somehow she's carried us all the way out here. You led the evacuation? Me? Not even close. I was a farmer, had a whole load of land and people to run it. My people helped convert this place for the long trip. He looks at his feet. Others led, organised the evacuation, created the plan. Not one of those folks made it. Sol rubs his forehead. We were out in the black a long time before we got here sleeping. Things happen. The upshot is I was chosen to take over. I guess my crew trusted me. I knew the ship. I argued, reminded them that I'm no leader. I'm sick. Well, when service chooses you. Loud klaxon sounds, indicating the bulkhead doors are ready to open. Hopefully there's like air on the other side and we're not about to get sucked out. This isn't your way of committing suicide. They groan as they slide back, metal squeals echoing through the vast ship, bouncing off its hard-plated walls. At first, you see the darkness. Then the lights go on, and in huge strips, stretch back and forth as far as you can see. The space in front of you, vast bay, bigger than any you have seen, is empty. When we left Hearth, we didn't have time or resources to convert the entire ship. Sol begins, leading you to the massive space. So much of the freighter space was sealed away, shut down. Now we have the time, we have the resources. We stabilised here, at least for the moment. Now is the time we make use of this. How? How can you use this? What do you think happened? What do you think happens next to the Ice Sleeper? Flux has already hit one part of the station. What I know, it'll hit again. On Hearth, we lost everything. We know more about the flux now. I mean, I'm not confident that we can deal with it, but we know about it at least. There isn't much time, Sleeper. There is enough time to do something. Oh god, no, we're not going to flee the eye, are we? Ooh. There's enough time to do something. Think of the number of people we can fit on here. The farming stacks, the housing. Hell, we can plant some of those mushrooms you love so much. This is the way forward, the only way. You need to fill the ship with able bodies and head for Stalwart. No, I don't think we can. I mean, I know... Presumably... No, I don't understand. I don't understand. because the wave has got to be directed at us. So we must be able to get there and shut it down and stop what's going on. And then purge the systems of everything we've got infected in there and start again. Rebuilding nodes, building up the systems, going as we go. I mean, building up as we go. Some of the systems won't be affected. So life support, etc., we need to shield those as best we can. It can't be an all-encompassing, like, emanating from one point and going out in an ever-expanding sphere. It cannot do that. Because if it hit you first, then you were inside the sphere, and then you would have had to have come outside the sphere in order to get here, in which case it would have shut down all your ship systems again. But that didn't happen. So it has to be directed, this wave. So yeah, we can shut it off. We can't leave. So size. That's what the people of Pasiora said to us, Sleeper. That's what we said to each other. But we left. I want you to help me. You know the Eye, you have connections, and you can work hard. I've seen it. It's on me to right. I know you'll like me, Sleeper. I didn't choose service, but it chose you. Nope, there are other ways. If you know them, go ahead. I'm telling you, this is the opportunity we have now. Look, I'm not saying don't prepare for it. I'm not saying don't build it up as you can. If it turns out you've wasted all your time and we can deal with this, that is great. That is a cost I can live with. And that's a lot to think about, Sleeper. Trust me. So it begins to lead you back out of the bay. Think of what we can do here. Flotilla can't last forever. We need more than just farmers to make this work. We need to build a new world for ourselves. I've heard that out there in the belt there are people who have been setting up since the collapse, making something of their own. The grass is always greener. It's possible they haven't. Maybe they're coming to the Eye because we're independent. That's our future, tucked away in these rocks, far from all of this. Sometimes. I didn't bring my people here just to let them die somewhere new. Sol crosses back over to the threshold. Fade signals for the operator to close it up. No groans and Sol waits for it to stop. Think about it, Sleeper. Sol flaps an arm on your back. Don't wait too long. This is happening soon. As it leaves you there, in the silence of this vast bay, your head spinning, with the thought of leaving the Eye. Upgrade point. Oh. Gathering evidence. Okay, that's going to take 2. Peak is compiling the data on the flux to be presented to Sol or Helene. You get the sense they're dreading the choice. Well, dread it no longer. I will make that choice for you, as I am the protagonist. We have only 1 upgrade point. I need only 3, 6, 8 in order to complete this. But I've only got 3 here, and I don't think I can do all of those. Right, well, I need some scrap today. I've only got engage, haven't I? Oh, endure, sorry. This is endure 2 to do the wastes, isn't it? Oh, endure 1, sorry, yep. It's dangerous. I could lose condition. I mean, I don't suppose it matters, because if I do lose condition, I can use a stabilizer. Let's try it. I just lost condition. Alright, okay. Scrap part. Oh, I lost energy. That was unexpected. Alright. Well, I was going to, you know, go to Griot anyway, to Emphis anyway. But now I'm definitely going to Emphis. Alright, let's grab some Yataghan data. Yes! 5 cryo! Delicious 5 cryo. Alright, and I'm keeping the Yataghan data rather than selling it this time, just in case I need it for whatever. Yannick? Yannick, yes. Alright, Right, well. Can I actually eat here? No, I can't. This is where I do stuff. Alright then, Memphis. Give me some delicious food. What a fungus! Your mouse stings. Sensorium sends warning signals over and over. This is the good stuff. Alright, now. Let's go up actually. Let's ascend and see what's going on up here. Okay, another 2 days before we get the job. So, I guess I'm going to stick here with Yannick, where I can earn just trust. Alright, so we'll sleep in the... Oh, I haven't completed this either, have I? Nah, I'm still going to do Yannick's trust. And then I'm going to betray him! Are you here? But I've bought everything from you. That's fine. I can earn some money. Where's the home? There's the empty container. Right. Stabilizer. Eject stabilizer. I mean, this is the worst point at which I've ejected stabilizer. Before it was when it was on the 3 going down into there, and I was in the 4. So, you know, I have gained the least out of this. Hey, 62326. Alright, well. No, we'll just... Yannick. So engage, so... Hey, I'm going to get +3 trust. It's dangerous. Factories, restaurants, surgeries, schools, the layers of the block are rich with stories and problems to solve. They're starting to learn them all. 6. There we go, and we'll re-roll this. Hiya! Oh, well, there's a 5 becoming a 6. There we go, and I got some energy off of that. Oh, that's great. Perhaps I will do energy again anyway. Or I'm going to go and work in the communes for the 1, and I'll get some havenage data. Are you havenage data? You are. Yes, 5 cryo as well. Everything's coming up, Millhouse. Can I have the... thank you. Now I will sell the havenage data. Is it you? No, I was going to say, I thought that was where I cooked. I could cook some griots. I won't do that. I'm going to use up the 2 energy and then cook some next time. Not the Mini G Express, not the derelict unit, not the Annex wards. Must be in Temple Tea House. Yeah. Another 10 cryo. And then we'll go sleep in the commune. After we've worked on it, gained ourselves 2 energy. I mean, it doesn't matter if I get a negative outcome or anything. All are treated equally. Oh no, negative outcome, +2 energy. Hey, I'm glad I did a bad day's work. Now I can sleep here. 42136. Here we are. Ritz! Sleeper! Long time! Ritz is smiling at you when you leave. Really happy to see you again. Good to see you. Same. Puts his hands on his jacket. How have you been? Yeah, I've been working hard, man. It's been a thing. So many ships out on that flotilla. I bet, he grins. Well, you're always welcome to hang in the bay if you want. Actually, that's what I'm here about. I know Bliss said she didn't want to take any more big jobs, but she's changed her mind, or something? It's because now we have someone looking to retrofit of their ship, and because now we have someone looking for a retrofit of their ship in our bay. You would not believe it. They want their entire ship disarmed, cutting out defense arrays, weapon lockers, ship-to-ship countermeasures, the whole lot. You sure this is their ship? He leans in. I want to start an arms dealership with all the hardware we have up when we're done. He laughs. Anyway, it's a massive job. We need some hands. I said to go get you. I just... Jeez. No! What are you talking about? I invested in there. You owe me profits from it because I invested in it. I'm not a hired hand. I help out because I want the business to be established so that I can get a regular income from it. Alright, so come on up. Bliss is waiting for you to accept the job. Because it'd be good to have you up there again. It's like old times. Oh, and now Peak is coming to see me. We're just standing in a line, waiting. Sleeper. Peak is waiting for you in the corridor. It's time. Peak looks pale and disheveled, with heavy marks under their eyes and strands of hair sticking to the face. I'm ready. Peak holds up a thumbnail-sized drive. All the data I've compiled on the flux event, the effects of the wave, and the structures that hide within it, it's on here. Look at the tiny drive. A casket of dark secrets. I've annotated it to the best of my ability. Anybody should be able to understand the threat, the potential in this. Besides, makes for grim reading. Without intervention, the Eye will suffer a cascade collapse of systems. Just like the colonies of Ember's Moon. Intervention? We can do something? That's good news. Pink says, that I'm still working. Pink looks at the drive. This shadow in the flux? This protocol? So hard to pin down. It adapts to any countermeasure I have tried to deploy. It's like trying to hold water in a cage. It slips straight through. Keep looking. Pink closes her hand around the drive. We need help, Sleeper. This is about everyone on the station. So we have to set up a meeting to tell someone who can do something about this. Helene? Perhaps. Anyone can protect the Eye, its havenage, but their internal politics will make it hard for them to act. Will they even listen to us? Perhaps. We've been thinking about this all wrong. Excites Glenn. Why make a choice when we can tell both sides of them? Yes, exactly. I was going to come to the... I was going to say, you've got this one drive, right? Copy the drive. Why pick a side when the only side in this entire thing is one we all need to take? Peak speaks, as they think. Words barely keeping pace with their thoughts. We need to resist this together, or we will fail. We need everyone on board, Sleeper. Peak smiles. This is the only way to do it. We send the data to both. Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly what I was going to suggest. Peak smiles. I'm glad you see it too. I look away. Another flux event is coming. I'm sure of it. And I'm not sure we can survive without help. Peak opens a hand and holds the drive out for you to take. You need to do this, Sleeper. I can't. You know Sol. You know Helene. They trust you. I mean, maybe. For them, I'm just another spacer, but you're part of this place. Hearing someone else say it hits your heart. You're a part of the Eye. Peak is right. But right now that feels more like a weakness than a strength. Set up a data relay at the core. It's neutral ground. Take the data and send it out to Havenage and the flotilla. Once they receive it, they will come. We can be sure of that. We will meet them there and take them through it all. No one could do a better job. Take a strand of hair behind their ear. You need to come with me. I don't know all the data. I don't know all the ins and outs of it. You do. Pig pauses. I can't. It would only draw suspicion on you. Havenage will want nothing to do with us. Sol is paranoid at best. Sol isn't paranoid. Pete tentatively puts a hand on your shoulder. Thank you, Sleeper. I know this is hard, but we have to move forward. We can't keep this to ourselves anymore. I step back, looking thin and pale in the harsh station light. Come talk to me once it's done, and then slip away into the eye. Well, alright, let's do that right now. Ooh. 5 flux data. Flickering, shifting fragments. Needs to be carefully decoded. Presumably I need to put 5 in here, yep. Once you send the data, episode purge and the final series of events on the eye will begin. After this point, you will not be able to return to complete other drives or find other endings. Make sure you are ready. Well then. Well. This. This, at this stage, we'll go back over here. This is where we will end it for the day then, I guess. We'll make sure we're on this side. I'm looking at, Yannick. Or Yannick in this instance. We'll stay here, but this is where we will end for the day, seeing as we've completed episode 2 of the DLC. Well, let's transition over. There we are. Hear it all going on in the background, still the busy bustle of life. But thank you so much for being here. I do appreciate each and every one of you, whether you're here live and in person or later on the VOD. The fact that you have stuck around and watched me play this video game badly, it means the world to me. We'll be back tomorrow. We will not be doing Citizen Sleeper because that is on our point and click days. So the next time we'll be doing Citizen Sleeper will be Sunday. That is our usual point and click day. We might do it earlier than that, seeing as this week there will be a Thursday stream. So we might do it on Thursday instead, actually. Not sure. But anyway, we'll be back tomorrow with... I'm not certain if we're going to do Returnal tomorrow, or, as I said, I want to add another game to the stream so that we can, so that I don't just get stuck doing Returnal, point and click, Returnal, point and click, etc. Anyway, yeah. So I think we'll be doing a different game tomorrow, so that'll be fun. I'm sure we'll be enjoying about it a lot. Do that. We'll take a big chunk of the game and see what's going on. He said, badly hinting at what I was talking about. And, you know, it only makes sense when I'm... But, until then, I have been Richard, and this whole thing has been LMTDTMFFR, or, say it with me now, limited time offer, no vowels, and you have fun, and stay weird.